Welcome, race fans, back to Ohsweken Speedway. 993 days later, we're finally back. Scott Kruder picked up the final win back in 2019 in the Canadian Sprint Car Nationals, and that seems like an eternity ago. My name's Greg Kellner. With me is Adam Ross. Clinton Jeffrey will join us later on. Adam, it's been a long time coming to be back here at the Big O.
Man, oh man, it felt good to come through the gates. Greg, I don't know about you, but I hadn't spent a lot of time here. I didn't even come out for the practice. I keep up with everything going on, but I hadn't walked through the pits. I hadn't really seen the walls, the way things have been redesigned. This place is gorgeous. It is ready for action.
Yeah, lots of parking out in front right now, and the work over in the pit area just phenomenal. A lot of block work when you walk in through the pit area gate there. It just looks completely transformed. The new VIP booth there off of corner number 3. And, of course, Glenn's new pool house there in corner number 2. I'm thinking that's where we should eventually end up broadcasting from. What do you think?
Well, my request for a soft serve ice cream machine between you and I didn't come through, so maybe a change was in order.
We got new chairs. I think we'll just take it and leave it at that. So, nonetheless, good to be back. Friday Night Thunder is tonight's race night sponsor, and we want to thank them. Of course, Friday Night Thunder is on APTN television, and that is the reality show that's broadcast on there. I've been able to catch a number of the episodes here during this offseason, Adam. They do a phenomenal job in really broadcasting Ohsweken Speedway to a large number of people.
It really puts the sport in a great light. They tell stories on and off the racetrack, and they've really built some characters. Like, did you know how entertaining the hills were?
Oh, I know. They're phenomenal.
Oh, fantastic. So it's been a great product. If you haven't seen it, check it out. And I'm proud to tag along and be a small part of it.
And they'll have a Season 2 crew, some new drivers featured in that as well, so stay tuned for that coming up later on in the year, Season 2 of Friday Night Thunder, tonight's race night sponsorship. Again, broadcasting live tonight on G-Force TV. Want to welcome you back. And this is actually our first ever G-Force event here at Ohsweken Speedway. Before, it was the Ohsweken Speedway live streams, but during COVID, G-Force got kick-started. We traveled to a number of different racetracks, but never to Ohsweken Speedway over the last couple of years, so great to be here as G-Force TV here tonight. Tomorrow night, G-Force is on the air live from Flamborough Speedway for round number 2 of the APC Series. The Quick Wick Firestarter Super Stocks are also on the card tomorrow afternoon, the London Recreational Racing 100.
That's going to be a great race. I was at Flamborough last Saturday. The late models put on a really good show, and there's going to be twice as many of them there tomorrow. And the super stocks, they just keep growing and growing. So a lot of fun.
And which race will they get? Because last year there was 2 races there, and boy, they couldn't have been any more different.
You never know what you're going to get. Going to Flamborough Speedway is like opening a box of chocolates, only without the sweet part.
All right, so a few more crate sprints come out onto the racetrack to complete their hot lap session, and they continue to work on the transponder system here before we go green flag racing here. So we've set our hot laps back just a little bit. We apologize for the delay as we work through these hiccups. Mini stocks will start off the card tonight when we go to heat race action. 6 laps for their qualifiers, followed by the crate sprints, which you see on the track right now. Thunderstocks, 8 laps for their qualifiers, and the 360 sprint cars. And from what I hear, Dylan Westbrook in the house tonight. So he's returned. He's having a lot of success down in the U.S. He's back here tonight for opening night at the Big O.
We've got a full field of 24 360 sprints, Greg, and 30 in the other classes. So talk about making a comeback. We're at nearly 120 cars in the pits across 4 divisions. I mean, the equipment looks great. The facility looks great.
That's the one thing that I've noticed is just the quality of race cars in all the divisions has come up, where I think this year we're going to see some really great parity, some great action, and the 360 sprints have got a lot of youth infused into it this year as well, so it's going to be a whole different story than what we saw in 2019.
You're absolutely right there. Hit the nail on the head. Let's see what the old guard can do against the youngsters coming up. You got our Glenn Stiers, Jamie Turner. I would put Hoopinen in with the old guard. Then you've got somewhere in the middle, Corey Turner, Brian Turner. And list goes on. Even though Josh Hansen is young, he's got some experience under him. And then you've got the Nick Sheridans and Jacob Dykes. This is going to be fun to watch.
So hot laps underway for the crate sprint car division. Both the Glen Hill machines out there, the 7 and the 14. Tyler Ward back in the 29W, and that's one of the drivers. I don't think during COVID when we had races at other racetracks, I don't think we saw Tyler Ward at any of those events. And when I saw his car in a photo gallery a couple of weeks ago, I thought, oh yeah, Tyler, it's going to be great to see him back.
Yeah, and you know, for various reasons, people stayed home from the races. A lot of people had hard times, Greg, over the pandemic, but regardless of the reason for staying away, it's great to see them back out at the racetrack. It feels like home again.
Ward and Eric Gledhill side by side down the back stretch as the white flag has come out. Checkers now on this hot lap session for the crate sprint car division. Ryan Fraser, one of the newer crate sprint drivers. In fact, I believe he said this is his first time racing at Ohsweken Speedway as well.
It's going to feel like driving down a freeway for him. You know, you go to Brighton and Humberstone and Merrittville. They're what you'd call bull rings, Greg. A little bit narrower, a little bit tighter, sharper turns. Then you come here to Ohsweken and you can choose from about 8 different lanes.
And I think in the last 2 years, the only track that compares to Ohsweken for these drivers to have raced on is Southern Ontario Motor Speedway, and we were there once with the Knights of Thunder, and that place is super fast. You walk in and you feel like you're at another version of Ohsweken Speedway with the high speeds, the high banks. So for some of these drivers, it's maybe their second time on a high-speed track, or maybe their first.
How about having Zigger Van Taal back?
Yeah, that's huge. When I heard that news, I was excited.
One of the best smiles in the history of Ohsweken Speedway. Zigger always seems happy. He takes his track prep seriously, and I'm pretty excited to have him back working the racetrack. And he said this time around, this is his focus. He's not going to get involved in any of the other businesses. He's going to be focused on the racetrack and making sure we've got a quality surface week in and week out.
And not to take anything away from Jordan Hill, who did a phenomenal job, but Zigger's just got so much history here working on this racetrack. And another face that I'm excited to see back, well, 2 faces. The Brown brothers are back. We didn't see them much over the last couple of years either, unless I took my car to the shop. But good to see the Browns back racing. There's Mitch over there at the CarQuest car number 10. And Jake Brown's already got a win this year with the Southern Ontario Sprints.
Yeah, for sure. And for those of you who follow Glenn Stiers and his escapades, he's racing in the NASCAR Pinty Series as well this season. He's got Doug Brown as basically an advisor with him to be at all the races. Doug, of course, with a history of racing in the CASCAR Super Series and with the NASCAR Pinty Series for a few years. So good to see them getting together and working together.
I thought he was with the team. I saw the video from Mosport when the big storm kicked up and someone was panning around. I thought, that's Doug Brown working with the Zero team. So, yeah, that's a fantastic mesh right there with all that experience.
Well, and they're familiar with each other, right? You've got that familiarity, and he's been there, done that. He's traveled across the country, so he knows what it takes. And that series, if you think about how quickly our race nights get run, the NASCAR Pinty Series is exactly the opposite. There's a lot of waiting. There's a lot of process that you've got to get through.
So the 360 sprint cars onto the racetrack for their hot lap session. Aaron Turkey also out there in the 68 as he gets by Dan Nanakoke. There we see Dave McKnight in the 70mm.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what Dave McKnight does with a 360 cubic inch engine. And more horsepower. Right now he's a little off the pace down on the inside, but he is used to having the more horsepower. He was looking forward to that. Even when he started in the crate sprints, he says, Adam, I'm used to having 1,000 horsepower in my right foot. That's what I need.
And over the last couple of years, we did see Dave in select 360 events. And honestly, I thought he looked a lot better in the 360 than the crate.
He looked more at home.
Yeah.
I mean, the speed is not a problem for Dave McKnight. So I want to see how he is going to take to the high banks of Ohsweken after doing all that racing on the road the last couple of years. I think we'll see kind of a new Dave McKnight this season.
Just doesn't seem right calling him a rookie.
No, but we do have drivers that aren't spring chickens. Sean Evans, he went down south to race this winter in the 87X. Did a good job, picked up a heat race win down there on one of the nights he raced. Of course, Glenn Steyer's, good to see him back behind the wheel of a 360 Sprint.
Aaron Turkey back in the 68 machine. Dan Anacoke's another driver that's been doing a lot of racing in the south and has been steadily improving in that number 15.
He must draw some youthful energy from Liam Martin.
Yeah.
You know, Liam Martin racing for that race team. A soft-spoken young man, but he drives with a heavy foot, talented race car driver.
If you've ever met or talked to Liam Martin and then watched him drive, you'd think it's like Jekyll and Hyde. It's two different personas. Of course, my son McLean, every time he sees Liam Martin, is he the one that caught on fire and he can't get it out of his mind the night? I think it was Liam Martin, one of his first nights. They didn't have the fuel cap on and the car caught fire. And
it's funny the things that you remember that stick into your mind.
Another one of those youngsters out there is Bailey Hurd, who's made his way through the crate sprint car division up to the 360s. He's the yellow number 70. And also back Kyle McKenzie on the flag stand. Good to have him back.
You know, it's been almost 3 years, but the sun still sets in the same spot.
It's no better through these windows.
That's okay. We've got the monitor in front of us. Of course, folks, if you got your smartphones here, gforcetv.net, you'll be able to catch all the action, all the replays. If you're a diehard race fan, you might go on YouTube and check out Delaware Speedway. They're racing, of course, tonight. And I got to say, Greg, that's probably the two hottest racetracks right now, Delaware Speedway and Ohsweken Speedway, both racing on Friday nights, both with a quality streamed product. And both tracks are reaping the benefits of that with big audiences, big crowds, and big events all year long.
And it works because it's two different, I'm not going to say two different audiences because there are a lot of folks that like both, but they play to different likes and tastes, and Delaware Speedway always a fun place to be.
Well, I'll tell you, I'll be there in September for the year-end event when the APC Series and the NASCAR Pinty Series close off, and I can promise you half of the Delaware Speedway pits will be here when the NASCAR Pinty Series runs in that midweek special a little later on this summer.
Another one of those things that's been delayed over the last couple of years, of course, our racing in our 25th season. It's definitely not the 25th anniversary anymore. That's long past, but it's 25 years kicking off here tonight of racing action. And that Pinty's 100 for the NASCAR Pinty Series was supposed to take place in 2020, but of course delayed a couple of years, and we are really looking forward to seeing what those cars can do here at the Big O.
I left DJ Christie out of the conversation for Young Lions. Of course, he picked up a victory last year in the 360s. I think that surprised a lot of people. I don't want to say it was a shocking win because he's a talented young racer, but you just don't see that very often, someone jump into a 360 without a lot of experience and go out and beat these drivers.
And that was on the high-speed Southern Ontario Motor Speedway, too. So we'll see what he can do with a new sponsor on board, Quick Wick Fire Starter, also our brand-new Victory Lane sponsor here at the Big O. Jamie Turner, now with the Burger Barn logo on the side of his car, so he's part of that squad now.
Yeah, and he's been helping Jay run the shop over there, and they moved his operation. He had been working on his own stuff out of Caister Center while Ryan and Corey worked out of the Burger Barn shop, but it made some sense to bring everything under the same roof.
There's Jamie there in the 11, and it's Going to be hard to tell him and Holly Porter apart. There's Holly coming off the fourth corner down the front stretch with some new colors this year.
Yeah, very similar look to those two. Josh Hansen looking pretty sporty out there in the 88H as he sweeps around the outside of Kevin Pauls down the back straightaway. And that will do it for this hot lap session.
Group 3 coming out for hot laps here for the 360 sprint cars. Then I believe we'll be ready to go racing with the mini stocks in their qualifying heats as they've already had hot laps. For those here in live attendance, don't forget to head down to the concession area. Plenty of great food to eat. Ice cold Coca-Cola products available down there as well. Souvenir shop is open for business. I know we also have Quick Fire Starter has their display set up. Go down and see Dean and the crew. And I'm sure they're giving something away that's ignitable. They usually do. And those things are wicked at starting a fire. Well, just like the sign says, world's best fire starter. Quick Fire Starter, they're down there. And a new sponsor, Mighty Wipes, down there as well. They've got their tent set up, so I want to welcome them. Not just to Ohsweken Speedway, but to racing in general. I know they're involved as well with the APC broadcasts, so welcome to Mighty Wipes. Go down there and check them out as well. Derek Jonathan is back. Good to see him. Driver to Lewiston, New York, in the G&J propane car number 81. Mac Demand in the 17. There's Jim Hoopinen back behind the wheel of his own ride now in the 14H. And there's young Liam Martin, who we talked about, taking over for Steve Lyons in that number 9. Travis Cunningham, car number 90. Jake Brown, one win already this year in the Little Bend 110. Jacob Dykstra to the 360s. And Braden Cooley also out there in the Glenn Stires racing machine.
I'm going to enjoy saying his hometown all year long, Greg.
I'll wait till you say it and then I'll say it.
Talking to Zigger Van Tyle earlier on, Greg, he said the only part of the racetrack he's a little bit concerned about is between turns 3 and 4. We did have some rain here tonight, and depending on what direction you came from to get to the racetrack, you might have driven through some serious rain shower. But the track is looking pretty racy, if you ask me.
Yeah, I was a little concerned coming out here because it rained all of the way here, and it was pretty dark and gloomy. And I wasn't concerned that it was going to last very long, but I was concerned about how much was going to come down, and that might have put us in a mess. But looks like we're good to go here tonight. And I think we're about set to go racing with the HRW Automotive Mini Stocks. Six laps, the distance for each of these qualifying heats. There's a good shot of Kyle McKenzie up atop the flag stand. Good to have him back.
A dynamic flag person, Kyle McKenzie up there in the stand. Clint, was that you working your mic?
It is, buddy. How you doing?
You told me you weren't going to come and talk to us till a little bit later.
Things calmed down a little bit. Obviously, as you know, getting back to it after, as you mentioned, nearly 1,000 days off the track here. There's a lot of issues we're trying to work on. We had a couple little situations there. We had a broken wire with timing and scoring. Ted fixed us up, and I think we're in good shape now. We appreciate everybody coming back. How great is it to be back at Ohsweken? Make some noise if you're happy to be back at the Big O here with us tonight. We are loving you guys. I'm going to tell you right now, our Fan Blast 500 is coming up. It's a series of events where fans can win $500. And tonight, it's a foot race at intermission. So all you adult fans, you got to be 18 or over, who figure you can be the first one back to collect the $500. 500 steps around Ohsweken. We'll make it work in the Fan Blast 500 night. We'll call for you when we're ready at intermission if you think you got it. But let's turn it back to Greg and Adam to get going for opening night 2022 at Ohsweken Speedway.
First qualifying heat out onto the racetrack from the pole out of Dundas. In car number 69 will be Rob Twitchett. His outside from Hagersville. In the 23, it's Dusty DeBoer. Row number 2 on the inside, Jason Tolton out of Guelph. And Christopher French will go from 4th. He's from Stratford in the 54. Nico Hansen from Beamsville in the 27. He'll go from 5th. To the outside of him from 6th out of Brantford, the 5 of Joey Wilcox. Going from 7th from Hagersville, the 26 of Tim Newell. In the 8th starting spot from Dundas, the 24 of Rodney Rutherford. And in the back row, the 88 from Simcoe. That'll be 8 and 9 going 10th. In car number 21H from New Hamburg, Ontario, Ryan Hiller, 10 cars, 6 laps the distance for the HRW Automotive Mini Stocks. And I believe I heard they're starting all cars tonight, so there won't be a B-main.
Yeah, I think the only B-main we're going to see is in a great sprint car division. And that's it. You know, it's going to take a lot of tweaking to get the program down and get everyone used to how quickly things roll through here. I have been forbidden from talking about our pole sitter tonight on the PA. He is also the crew chief for the Vintage Modified that my son Connor raced, and that I'm going to race a bit this year, and he's going to race a bit this year. He doesn't believe in the announcer curse. He believes in the Adam Ross curse. So, not going to talk about him.
But you just did.
But the little, no, as long as I don't say his name. Half pint. That's what I shall call him for the rest of the night.
All right, race fans, we're coming to the green flag this time. By 993 days has been the wait. Who's ready to see it green here at Ohsweken Speedway again? Rob Twitchett. Dusty DeBoer will bring us to the green flag, and the 2022 season is underway.
Good start off the inside pole for Half Pipe, but he's being challenged off turn number 2. Tolton in the 1, looking to the inside. There's 3 wide down the backstretch.
Tolton on the inside, DeBoer on the outside. DeBoer will grab the lead going into corner number 3. He's got that Super Flow coal trickle paint scheme going out there in the lead.
That's a fabulous look, too, for DeBoer. As he drives away, leaves Tolton the battle side by side with Half Pipe in that Cal Tire number 69. Chris French closing in the 54 in the 4th position to make it the 3-car battle for 2nd.
Tim Newell back there in the 5th spot. Ryan Hiller started back in 10th. He's up to the 6th position now in the 21H, the Cobra Trucking ride. He'll work to the inside and look for a top 5 spot.
Tonight's starting order was determined by luck of the draw, so the lower the number, the closer to the front that you would start. So some of these drivers with a lot of speed having to come through the field. Ryan Hiller, one of them. He checks up there going into turn number 3. They were side by side in front of him. Nowhere for the driver from New Hamburg to go.
Yeah, he got blocked in behind Rob Twitchett in that 21H. He was the Rookie of the Year in 2019. How hard is that to make your sophomore season a couple of years later? And there he is. He's drifting back now as Newell gets a run on him.
Rodney Rutherford to the inside of Rob Twitchett. Rutherford has raced in probably more divisions than anyone here. He's great at taking home big paydays at Flamborough Speedway in their Enduros.
Dusty DeBoer out in front. Jay Tolton right now in the 2nd spot, coming to the white flag. Then it's Rodney Rutherford in the side-by-side battle. Ryan Hiller and Rob Twitchett. Hiller's got the advantage coming across the stripe.
Hiller with that spot. Newell looking to follow him through on the inside. Newell washes up the track in turn number 1. We'll try again down the backstretch.
It's a run to the inside of Rob Twitchett. Meanwhile, the checkered flag comes out. DeBoer will pick up the win over Tolton and Rutherford. Then it's Hiller in 4th. 5th will go to Twitchett. Newell in the 6th spot over French. Nico Hansen, 8-9.
So on the driver rosters on the website, it says that Emily Nye is going to be driving that 88, but signing in today, Doug Leonard has Aiden Nye driving in both the mini stock division and in the Thunderstocks tonight.
Second qualifying heat on its way out for the HRW Automotive Mini Stocks. Ashton Dick on pole in the 1A. He's from Brantford. Eric York alongside him from Smithville in the 51. Wade Thorne will start in the third spot aboard car number 4. And his outside, the pinball, back again for another season. He's from Caledonia. Mike Giberson in the 11. Starting 5th, familiar name and car number here, back in the mini stocks. Jeremy Hughes out of Burlington in the 10J. Jeremy May in the 10X. He's from Hangersville, and he'll go 6th. 7th is Lyle White from Ohsweken in the 62. Nick Erskine in the 64. He's from Brantford, will go off 8th. Starting at 9th, Fabio Olivieri from Ancaster in the 16. And Mike Evers out of Caledonia in the 265. Mike probably rolled that out, got it ready last night to race.
I would say you're probably right. He would have done it today probably, but he's too responsible and he went to work. Greg, I'm going to tell you the truth. I wasn't sure how many mini stocks we would have out. No tracks right now are getting 30 cars in the mini stocks. So great to see the classes healthy here at Ohsweken Speedway. We're set to go on heat race number 2.
Ashton Dickey, Eric York will bring us to the green flag. York gets a good jump on the outside line. Grab the early lead down into corner number 1. Giberson now on the outside, 3 wide as Jeremy Hughes that's not Jeremy Hughes, that is Jeremy May in the 10X is in the second spot.
May drifts up high through 3 and 4, but he still maintains that second position just behind him. Dickey is settled into the third spot, and it's Thorne in 4th.
York, May, Dickey, and Thorne. And now Jeremy Hughes in the 5th spot, but here comes Nick Erskine working to the outside of him in the 64 as they go down the back stretch into corner number 3. Hot little battle there from third on back.
Erskine with a great run, and he was squeezed up tight to the wall. It's hard to tell from our vantage point, but it looked pretty close from here.
Eric York riding out in front. Jeremy May not letting him eke away by any stretch of the imagination up there in that second spot. If anything, he's closing the gap just a little bit.
He is so.
Wade Thorne right now holding down third, and he's got 2 young lions, Nick Erskine and Ashton Dickey behind him.
Tell you, Nick Erskine's on a mission. He looks to be getting stronger and stronger every lap. He drives down to the inside. Car gets a little bit loose on him. It's a bit harder to maintain speed on the bottom of the racetrack like that, but Erskine nosing ahead of the Thorne machine. Thorne drives it deep into turn 3.
Good save that last time by for Ashton Dickey. He got a rear end full of Fabio Olivieri down in corner number 2. Fabio will work to the outside of him in corner number 1. As they continue to battle side by side, that's for the 6th position.
They'll see the white flag this time at a turn number 4. Jeremy May having a great run. Eric York having a great run. Jeremy May having a pretty good run in the 2nd spot.
Nick Erskine up there to 3rd. One of the best runs we've seen yet for that number 64 of Nick Erskine.
Got a long way to go to battle for the 2nd spot. Only 1 set of turns left to do it. I think he may have to settle for 3rd, but maybe not. Spirited drive for Erskine. Eric York takes the win. Jeremy May 2nd after bouncing through turn 3. Erskine 3rd. Jeremy Hughes in 4th. And then it's Wade Thorne, Fabio Olivieri, Ashton Dickey, Mike Evers in the 265. Who's that at the back? The 62 machine, I believe, of Lyle White.
So 1 more qualifier left to go for the HRW Automotive Mini Stocks. And then we'll head into the Strickland's Brantford Crate Sprint Car Division.
Good-looking crowd assembled here tonight. Thanks so much for coming out for the return to racing here at the Big O.
Even Claw and Fang made it back. Our mascots.
They look super happy tonight, too. I think it's because it's a nice, comfortable night.
I was just going to say, wait till August. You won't be waving your arms like that.
Ever see a mascot sweat?
Yeah, you every night.
You know what? That AC, I was going to turn it like it's blowing right on me. I love it.
It's okay right now, but I'm downwind.
Well, guys, I got your first Case IH track report of the season. I got to tell you, Zig and the crew did a great job. Still lots of bite back in it. It is getting a bit of chunky. When you get up here to the outside, we can see it is starting to roll up a bit, so we'll have to monitor this throughout the night. It is getting a bit chunky up here, but lots of tack left in this track. And for our first night out after 2 years plus, it's looking pretty good, guys.
Clint, as someone who struggled through the pandemic, I'd appreciate it if you don't mention a bit chunky. Let's find a new term. Because up here on this side, I'm surprised, actually, the tower's not leaning towards our end.
Well, I talk to Johnny Miller all the time, and when he tells me what sweater he's I need a XXX fluffy. So that's what we'll call it.
Great job, Clinton Jeffrey, on the scene. That poor guy, Greg. This spring has taken years off the life of Clinton Jeffrey. It's been a great couple of years, right? A lot of new things, GeForce TV, and Glenn Stiers is happy, tons of improvements. He continues to spend the money. But, just knowing that we got to get back, opening night has to work. So I'm happy for him. We dropped the first green flag, and hopefully he can breathe a bit of a sigh of relief.
I'm getting there, Adam. I appreciate it. It's been a couple of crazy days for everybody around me, but, we're just passionate about this place. We want to make sure the fans and drivers and everybody have a great experience, and I think we're off to a pretty good start so far.
I don't know if I'm speaking out of line or not, but there is one big thing missing here tonight, and there's a billboard up between turns 1 and 2. I mean, for all the fans, you missed Vera Steyer's warm smile walking through the gate. It's a big loss for the Speedway, Greg. She's been the calming influence at this place for 25 years.
Matriarch of Ohsweken Speedway, and definitely a huge loss, and forever in our thoughts. Vera, we miss you here tonight, and will always, but we'll never forget. Matt Newell on the pole. He's from Hagersville in the 2. Paul Longbow to the outside, the 188. He's from Ohsweken. Mike Sarantaco's from Smithville in the 6X. He'll go from 3rd. I'm going to get this wrong here. We corrected ourselves during the pandemic. From Thorold in the 96 is Tyler LaFantasy, not LaFontaise. Allegedly. Starting 5th from York, car number 9, Tim DeBoer. Starting in 6th from Brantford, the 05 of Dave Goodacre. Going from 7th, Steve Miller out of Paris in the 79. Going 8th, Tristan De Silva from Waterdown in the 01. Jeff Elslager in the 11E from Linden, and Don Deagle in the 12. Those are the 10 cars making up this final qualifying heat.
So in this heat alone, I'm not sure how much racing DeBoer or De Silva or Goodacre or Miller in the 79 did during the pandemic. So welcome back to all of those drivers.
I think we saw Dave Goodacre a couple of times last year.
I think he ran Flamborough, I want to say.
Yeah, actually, that's, I think, where we saw him. Matt Newell out in front in the 2.
Sporty look on the Matt Newell number 2 machine. That looked like a freshly lettered race car. LaFantasy in the 2nd spot. Paul Longboat, another driver who I don't think did much racing while we were off. So heat number 3 is the drivers making their return to motorsports after a couple of years of rest and relaxation.
Okay, I'm stumped on Tim DeBoer's number 9. They always go with throwback schemes or something famous. I know that scheme. It's a fairly old scheme. Who is that?
When I first looked at it, it reminded me of Bob McCready.
Yeah.
So I don't think it is.
I don't think it is, but yep. Bright colors.
Oh, that's not Ron Bouchard.
Well, that's what I'm wondering. Like, I'm talking 80s or late 70s, somewhere in there, and yeah, I think you might be right.
Ron Bouchard would have been back in the 80s. There's a driver. I've got to learn a bit more about him. It came on like gangbusters. I think won some races.
He won at Talladega. Yep.
And then disappeared. But he wasn't like a Bobby Hillen Jr. win at Talladega.
No. He was in some races as well to win, but One of those drivers, where are they now? We'll have to see if that's who that is. But nonetheless, caution flag is out. I'm sure we'll get a message from someone to tell us whose paint scheme that is for Tim DeBoer.
I already got a text saying that the audio is down in the pit area.
Lucky them.
Right? If I had to guess, someone shot down the speakers.
No, I fixed it already. We're getting them out. Little tweaks here and there, but pit speakers are working, guys.
There we go. Johnny on the spot.
Well, not sure who this came off. If any thoughts, guys, but that's a hot piece of exhaust there that the rescue team's hauling back.
Yeah, you don't want to touch that. That's when you send the new track worker out.
Go ahead, Jack. Pick it up. No, don't. I'm kidding. He's like, how will I eat my chicken fingers if I burn my fingertips off?
No kidding. That's a mistake you only make once, though. That's, there's lessons that sometimes you need to make them a few times. That particular one.
Well, that would be getting your rookie stripes at the racetrack by picking up a hot exhaust pipe.
Well, Ryan Smith, speaking about earning your stripes, I think he's in his 20th season here at Ohsweken, and he certainly earned his by turning black and blue all the way up one side of himself in one of his first nights.
Back into the green, and wow, what a pack of cars going at it down in corner number 1. Here comes La Fantasy to the outside of Newell.
Side by side down the backstretch, La Fantasy clears the Newell machine down into turn number 3. Newell drove a little bit deeper into the corner. He'll drive to the inside as the white flag waves.
Just La Fantasy, Newell 1 and 2, then Sarantakos, Elsliger, and De Silva. A couple of cars that came up from the tail end of the pack are up there battling it out for 4th and 5th.
Side by side through 3 and 4, our first battle for a win here as the checkered flag flies. Who's it gonna be? Wow. Newell by a nose. Greg, we should mention that as well. We appreciate so much the messages we get. I am Adam Ross 101 on Twitter. So if there's something you need a message you need to get delivered, you can use Facebook, you can use Twitter, you can throw things at the tower. We're easy.
Do not tweet me. I have an account, but it's updated as frequently as my MySpace page, so wow. All right. Strickland, Brantford, Chevrolet, Crate Sprint Car Division ready to go. 3 qualifying heats for them tonight. Be the only division with a B-main here this evening.
I got a couple of pictures from Dylan Westbrook, but I don't know what for.
It wasn't that meme you showed me, was it?
No.
Okay. Didn't seem like a Dylan Westbrook type of meme. Heat number 1 going from the pole out of St. Thomas, Ontario, aboard the Bar Motorsports car number 4. That'll be Jesse Costa. To his outside from Ancaster, the 26X, of Terry Baker. Going from 3rd from right here in Ohsweken, the 77T, Tyler Powless. Going from 4th out of Port Perry in the 4B, Daryl Peltier. Starting in 5th out of Freelton in the 12DD, Darren Dryden. Travis Hofstetter will go from the 6th spot. He's from Kitchener aboard car number 2. Starting 7th out of Georgetown, the 2M of Steve Murdoch. Rolling off 8th from Brantford, the 49L, Lucas Smith. Starting in 9th from Brantford in the 88, Lance Erskine. And Chris Relf out of St. George in the 69K will start in 10th.
Some fresh names out there to go with some of the veterans. Terry Baker's son Keegan turned some laps recently in a crate sprint car. Apparently looked pretty good, so I expect it won't be too long before we see Keegan on the track.
Kyle McKenzie ready to wave the green flag. First green flag laps for the crate sprint car division underway. Jesse Costa, Terry Baker take us down into corner number 1. Costa jumps out to the early lead.
Couple of aggressive racers towards the back. Darren Dryden in the 12 double D. Lucas Smith and the 49L. They're just outside of the top 5, but looking to move forward.
Baker holding down second, Peltier third, and then the fight is on between Dryden right now and Hofstetter in the 2 machine as they go down into corner number 3. Dryden hugging that inside wall. He'll come off the corner, have the 4th spot in that 3M, number 12 DD. Beautiful looking machine.
There's a lot of bite right now on the bottom of the racetrack. As the night wears on, you'll see them move up a little bit higher, but right now they are really able to dig there on the bottom of the track.
Bit of a rocky ride there off of corner 4 that time by for Darren Dryden. Now he's got Lucas Smith all over his tail tank as they work it off of corner number 2. Dryden gets away from him and now reels in. Oh, problems for Terry Baker. He'll go up high in corner number 3, and I believe that might put us under the caution flag. Yes, it will.
I don't know if our crew was following Darren Dryden and Lucas Smith because I was looking out the window, not at the monitor, but they couldn't have missed each other by much there in turn number 2. And if you remember, we had a real situation with Lucas Smith and was it Brett Stratford last year in a similar type of situation.
That didn't end well.
They sometimes don't.
Terry Baker motioning for a push. See if he can get that refired, or if he just knows that it's just needs a ride back to the pit area.
Yeah, it doesn't look like he's trying to start that number 26 machine, so he'll head back to the pits.
Rough start for Terry Baker, who was running solidly in the 2nd spot. So that'll move Darren Dryden now up to 2nd in the 12 DD.
Lance Erskine moving his way through the field from the 9th spot. A new look this year on that number 88. Switched numbers a little bit. He ran the 48 last year, 88 this year.
See the white flag this time around. Back at it with 4 laps complete. 4 to go. First qualifying heat of the night for the Great Sprint Car Division. This will be the only division with a B-main tonight. If you're new, it means the last chance qualifier.
Yeah, I believe with 3 heats, what do we take? 6 out of each heat and then 6 out of that last chance qualifier. So that means about 6 cars are going to be going home tonight without being able to race in the main event.
Single file past the restart cone for the sprint car divisions. Jesse Costa fires him off and sends him down the front straightaway with Darren Dryden in tow. Darrell Peltier and Lucas Smith. Smith sweeps by Peltier, takes over the 3rd position.
Nice start by Jesse Costa. Used the banking to get him a little bit better launch, but Darren Dryden all over the number 4 machine. The top 2 have pulled away from Lucas Smith by about 20 car lengths.
Side by side for the lead down the backstretch. Dryden on the inside, and it's Costa on the outside this time by. Looks like it's going to be 2 laps left to go. Costa's got the advantage.
Costa squeezing Dryden down the racetrack, just not giving him any room to accelerate. It's clean racing, it's hard racing, Greg, but a nice move by Jesse Costa, a veteran move out there as he sees the white flag in the air. 1 more lap.
Dryden going to give it 1 more try. Down into corner number 1, gets a run on him. It's about 2 car lengths off the fuel cell of Jesse Costa. They work it into corner number 3, now down to the checkered flag. First qualifying heat will go to Jesse Costa over Darren Dryden. Lucas Smith will be 3rd, 4th, Darrell Peltier 5th, Travis Hofstetter 6th is Murdoch, and that's Erskine in 7th, and 8th, I believe, will be, it's Tyler Powless in the 77T, and then Chris Relf in the 69K. So there's your winner of heat race number 1, Jesse Costa, the Oakwood Transport, Wells Foundry number 4 from St. Thomas.
They have a lot of lanes they can work with, but down in 3 and 4, the track looks to be about a lane and a half wide in the preferred groove, and 1 and 2, maybe 2 lanes wide. As we say, that's going to widen out all night long, so there's still lots of options for these drivers, but right around the bottom seems to be the quick way so far.
Heat 2 rolling out. Brett Stratford will go from the pole. He's from Wainfleet, Ontario, the BS 39. Alongside of him will be Brian Nanico out of Ohsweken in the 9C. Starting third will be Curtis Gartley out of Thamesford in the number 45. Ashton Van Every in the 77E. He's from Ohsweken. He'll go off fourth. Fifth is where we find the Iceman from right here in Six Nations in car number 20, Johnny Miller. Starting at fifth, Austin Rose out of Mosley in the 3S. He'll start in sixth. Josh Hill out of here in Ohsweken in the 99. He starts seventh. Alongside of him in eighth is Andrew Marshall from Dorchester in the 48. Noel Teal from Hagersville in the 14T goes off ninth. And Seth Roy of Port Colborne in the 5D. And a water truck in corner number 4. This will be a couple of laps here.
I wonder what the thought process is there.
Well, Adam, I can tell you they're getting dusted out in the pits. They've just had to bring the water truck around so they can water the pit entrance where the cars are going back into the pits to keep the dust down. So Ziggers out there just had to get around once. We should be good to go.
Boy, with the amount of pavement and concrete back there, there's not a whole lot left that kicks up dust.
It's funny you mentioned that, Adam, because there is a big portion of that going to be paved here in the coming weeks, and it should diminish that quite a bit. But as we continue to finish some of the construction around here, we got to get the pipes and the underground facilities in before we can pour the pads. So Zig will be out of the way, and we should be ready to go white this time.
That sounded pretty technical, Greg. Well beyond.
I was just going to say above us. White flag's been displayed here on heat race number 2 of 3.
Brett Stratford, that BS 39, he had a lot of speed the last couple of seasons.
You know, Adam, Brett's one of those guys. He's never raced here. It seems like he's been around a bit, but he is super pumped after practice. Let's see what he can do.
He is one of those drivers that if he pulls into victory lane this year, it won't shock me at all. He is he's right on that cusp where he can get it done. Nearly got it done last year at Humberstone.
He did so out in front of Brian Nanicoke as Stratford through 3 and 4 for the first time. He's going to lead the way past the start-finish line.
Nanicoke in second. Here comes Rose to the outside of Curtis Gartley, and I think that 3S might be a car to watch this year as well. The Nathan Ackland Racing 3S of Austin Rose worked his way through the micro sprints and has been very solid getting his feet wet here in the crate sprints these last couple of years.
Gartley in the Dowler car number 45. Rose in the Bobcat-sponsored 3S as he slides a mini slide job in front of Brian Nanicoke.
Brett Stratford out in front, and he is taking off from this field over Austin Rose, Brian Nanicoke, Curtis Gartley, and Joshua Hill right now the top 5.
Yeah, Hill kind of all by himself there in the 5th spot. Behind them, Johnny Miller looking to make a move to the outside and pick up the 6th position. He races side by side. That's an important battle. If he finishes 6th, you lock into the A-main. You don't have to run the dreaded Consi. So that's an important pass right there.
Brett Stratford puts 5 laps on the board as we continue to watch Johnny Miller and Ashton Van Every. There's Curtis Gartley right now, who's riding in the 3rd position, right behind Austin Rose and ahead of Brian Nanicoke.
Yeah, Gartley looking comfortable out there in that 45 machine as we've got 2 laps to go, says Kyle McKenzie.
Stratford has checked out. He's already into quarter number 3, and he's able to see the tail end of the field, the other end of the straightaways, with 1 lap left to go for the driver to Wainfleet.
Yeah, clean air for Brett Stratford, and he's loving it. Austin Rose went a little bit faster that lap than Stratford, but he's just got too much ground. I say that, and we are under yellow.
Brian Nanicoke comes to a snail's pace here on the front stretch. That puts us under the caution flag. The Canada Fuels number 9C comes to a stop the high side of corner number 1.
That's not what Brett Stratford wanted to see here. Rose will line up right on his tail tank in the second spot. Curtis Gartley third. Joshua Hill fourth. Johnny Miller rounding out the top 5 now. Brian Nanakoke, who just rolled to a slow stop. Joshua Hill's in 4th, isn't he? Johnny Miller Johnny Miller rounds out the top 5. Sorry, I just had a bit of a stroke there. Ashton Van Every in the 77E, Noel Teal in the 14T, Seth Roy in the 5D, and Andrew Marshall in the 48.
Talk about this being Brett Stratford's first time racing at Ohsweken Speedway in the crate sprint. His only other, as we've been talking, fast track experience was at Southern Ontario Motor Speedway, and that night did not end well. That was a violent crash down the backstretch there, totaled his car. That's why he ran that Heinz 57 car at the end of the year, kind of mix mash of pieces together in that one. And Brett Stratford looking very stout here in that BS 39 to start tonight's program.
Runs a little higher through 1 and 2 than Rose did. There's one more corner. Rose to the inside. Brett Stratford up high, and it's going to be Stratford with the win. Rose second, Gartley third, Joshua Hill fourth, and Johnny Miller. Ashton Van Every, Seth Roy, Noel Teal, and Andrew Marshall. So, something new this year for the sprint car teams. There is a shortage, a global shortage of rubber, and it is affecting the racing industry as well. So what you're going to see in the sprint car classes, every car coming off the track is going to roll through the tech garage where they will mark the right rear tires. And they are on an allocation, Greg. You can run whatever tires you want in practice and in the B-main. But in the heat races and the feature, you are limited to a certain number of tires. And that's just one more thing that the technical inspectors have to watch for.
I think they need to limit us in our cheeseburgers.
It's like I'm a rookie all over again. I ate lunch and I haven't eaten since then.
I had to jump in here because, Greg, you won't be with us. We'll be live at Flamborough tomorrow for the APC Series at G-Force. And it's money, you say a limit on cheeseburgers. You know, Adam, a Flamburger, that kind of self-regulates for me. 1.5 and I'm out.
What do you do with the other half?
It comes right back.
You can return the second half of a Flamburger?
If you want to get technical, we can go right into it, buddy.
Well, the point I want to make is, why have you never walked up and say, Adam, you want the second half of my Flamburger? Because I'm confident I would not turn you down.
I eat both halves of the second one. It's only the second half of that second one that makes me know I've had too many Flamburgers.
So you do it and then you pay the price. I got you now.
Heat race number 3, Tyler Ward goes from the pole out of Woodstock in the 29W. Jordan Hill to his outside in the 28 from Ohsweken. Eric Gledhill from Thamesford in the 7. He'll go 3rd. 4th, Alan Downey out of Waterloo in the 19D. Trevor Young in the 51. He's from Ancaster, starts 5th. Larry Gledhill 6th. Rob Neely in 7th. Ryan Fraser 8th. 9th will be Matt Hill, and Cam McKinnon goes from the 10th spot. Green flag, final qualifier for the crate sprint car division. They're 3 wide into corner 1 there for a moment.
Wow, Gledhill got squirrely going down into turn number 1, makes a nice recovery, and he'll make a pass for the 2nd spot down the back straightaway.
Ward has the lead across the stripe, but Gledhill in 2nd, and problems for Jordan Hill. His car slows on the front stretch. Now it kicks back into gear here and into corner number 1. He's got speed going again.
Yeah, it sputtered down the front straightaway. It looked like he was going to get out of the way and drive to the infield, and then it kicked up again, and he fell to the back of the field, but he's still in the hunt.
So it's Ward, Gledhill, and Downey, the top 3. Young right now riding in that 4th position. Good run for him right now, and he'd like to be in one of those transfer positions. One of those guys that always seems to be right there in that transfer bubble area and oftentimes ends up in the B-main and probably shouldn't have been.
No, for sure, but how about Tyler Ward? A couple years off, didn't seem to slow his reflexes at all. Looking great out there. You remember his first couple of nights, Greg?
Yeah.
There was a lot of yellow flags. He struggled to keep that car going, spun out quite a bit. but he paid his dues. He works his way, turned a lot of laps, worked your way up through the ranks, and he's looking good out in front of this heat race.
Another time across the stripe, 5 on the board, 3 to go for Tyler Ward. I think Eric Gledhill maybe is closing the gap just a little bit, but time is running out. 2 laps left to go.
2 more trips around as Tyler Ward's lead is shrunk to about 10 car lengths. Alan Downey stalled out in the 3rd spot. He's not been able to close any gap. Trevor Young, I'm sure he'll be happy with the hairs he's running if he can keep that car there and get himself directly into the A-main.
White flag is out. Ward's your leader, but Eric Gledhill is there now. He'll make the charge down in corner number 1. Gets a great run through corner 2. Looks down low as they go down the backstretch into 3 side by side.
Close quarters racing through 3 and 4. Tyler Ward keeps his foot on the throttle. He'll take the win over Gledhill, Downey, Young, Fraser, Rob Neely, Gledhill, Jordan Hill. I was doing so well. Who brought up the tail?
McKinnon.
Well, guys, it's funny you say that. You know, a guy like Tyler Ward, I was thinking the exact same thing. We've seen him struggle at the start of 2019 as a pure rookie, but to come out and win his heat tonight, you know he's going to be super impressed with that. Gledhill's another one who is really working his way up the ranks quickly. And how about Alan Downey? We've seen him really be a guy we're going to have to watch this year. He's got support of the Burger Barn team as far as technical support and setup. And watch for Alan Downey to be one of these guys to really rise to the top this year, guys.
Eric Gledhill came all but 1 corner for getting his first win last year at Merrittville Speedway, so he's right on the cusp. Well, Adam, I took care of the first half of heats. I'll throw over the next bunch to you.
I was kind of enjoying that, Greg, because...
Well, you did all the pre-race work, and I thought I'd better do something.
It's all good. The Thunderstocks roll onto the racetrack. The Middleport Mechanical Thunderstocks, 29 cars strong here tonight. On the pole out of Ohsweken, the 24 is Blake Bomberry Jr. Alongside him in the 28D from Caister Center, it's Donnie Lamp. Row 2 on the inside from Niagara Falls, the 19T is Trevor Want, and to his outside from Hagersville, the 93K is Mike Klazinga. Row 3 on the inside, the other 28 from Caister Center, this is Jim Lampman. Alongside him from Hagersville, and the number 3 is Devin Bacher. In the 7th starting spot, also out of Hagersville, the 75 is Ryan Berry. And on the outside of row 4 from Burlington, the 97 is Ron Logie. Starting at the back in the 49 from Hagersville, it's Dave Bailey on the inside. Alongside him from Hamilton, the 25 is Ken Sargent. Race through 1 and 2 with Lampman getting the advantage off of turn number 2. Blake Bomberry there in that 2nd position.
So Ben with Adam Bomberry to the inside gets a move here on Lampman as they go almost 3 wide down into 1.
Dave Bailey already up into that 3rd spot in the 49 machine as Bacher washes up the racetrack. Bailey's not done there. Works to the inside of Donnie Lampman, a challenge for 2nd.
Bailey on the inside has a clean line out front. Can he get enough speed to pull up? No, he doesn't. Bomberry able to stretch it out. Here comes up through the middle. It's the Klazinga 93 trying to work his way in there.
Klazinga looking pretty sporty through the middle of the racetrack. To his inside, it's Bacher. Donnie Lampman trying to maintain position on the outside, but he has to check up going into 3.
Now Bacher trying to work on the inside of Klazinga, but it's all Brewster Baker. Dave Bailey on the back end of the plum. 24 here for Bomberry. Gets right to the outside corner.
Blake Bomberry, he's run a lot of laps here at Ohsweken Speedway. He's been here since it all began in that 24 machine. But even he can't hold off the 49 of Bailey. Tries to pinch him down on the front straightaway. Bailey drives it into 1 and 2 a little bit deeper. He'll take the lead.
Just past halfway, we are 3.5 laps to go as Bailey brings it into the bottom of 3. Now fades up to the top side. Everybody trying to find the fast way through this end of the speedway. The track looks good at him, but it's throwing fits at some of these drivers.
3 and 4 definitely looks a little bit more challenging, which is funny, Clint, because for how long did we have that real character dip in turn number 1 here? But tonight it looks like 3 and 4 is definitely the not the troubled child, but the challenging part of the track.
Yeah, it was a wet spot that just kept coming back over and over, and they actually named it because they couldn't get her to lead. But it worked out. It looks great down in turn 1, and Bailey back on fine form where he left off at the end of 2019, leading the pack with Bomberry in tow. Klazinga slows up on the outside, and that'll bring Bacher to the bottom. Klazinga's got some issues there, I'm not sure.
I don't know if he's got a right front tire going down or what, but Klazinga definitely slow in that 93 machine. He's lost a spot to Donnie Lampman. Some smoke out of the Devin Bacher number 3. Logie going to get by Klazinga, but we are 2 corners away from the checkered flag.
It is Dave Bailey, multi-time champ of the Queenston Chevrolet. Jibs Action Sports 49 will grab the win over the Nitro 54-24 of Blake Bomberry. And then you got the number 3, Devin Bacher, working back there as well. Good spirited race for the Thunderstocks.
Jim Lampman 4th, Ron Logie 5th, Donnie Lampman 6th, and the screen disappeared. I sound really intelligent when I have names to read off a computer screen.
Fan Blast 500. Who thinks they can win a foot race around the Speedway for $500 here tonight? Let me hear you make some noise. I don't know, Adam. Maybe you and I might have to race it if they're not going to, but I'm sure we'll get somebody to go out there for $500.
We don't have all night if Adam's doing it.
It's a no for me. On the pole, a heat race number 2 from Hagersville in the 23, it's Trevor DeBoer. Alongside him from Victoria, the 84 RK is Ryan Beagle. Go Fast T-Bull drives the 11. He's from Thorold, and starting 4th from Caister Center, the 41 is Adam Plazik. Starting 5th from Brantford, the 13 is Casey Hoffman. Starting 6th from Ancaster, the 19 is Kyle Wirt. Starting 7th from Caledonia, the 55 is Mike Thorne. Starting 8th from Simcoe, the 8 is Aiden Nye. Starting in 9th from Ohsweken, the 48 is Braden King, and rounding out the field from Hamilton, the 43 is Kyle Andrus.
Green flag is out. DeBoer and Beagle head down into corner number 1. Beagle on that outside, the 84. He'll get a good run down the banking in corner number 2 as they go door to door down the backstretch.
Beagle took a huge arc through 1 and 2, gave him a big run down the backstretch. Keeps a little bit tighter through 3 and 4. They'll battle side by side with Beagle having the edge at the completion of lap 1. Yeah, Huffman looking good. He slowed in practice, had a problem at the end of his practice session in that 13 machine, but looks like he got that sorted out.
Oh, Andrus is going to go around in corner number 1, but I think he'll keep it under power, but we're still under the yellow flag. Sounds like there's something on the racetrack that's bringing out the caution flag. Clinton Jeffries down there on the scene. Maybe some tartan fell off with that 11 machine.
we got messages about that. We beat that horse to death.
Well, guys, it's another bit of hot exhaust up here. Muffler piece and everything. Going to get rolled down the hill, and the crew will push it back. Some more metal here on the Speedway. Nothing we can't fix so quickly.
I've had enough hot exhaust up here with Adam Ross over the years.
You know, that joke crossed my mind as Clinton talked about it, but I had the class, the couth, to not go there.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, more like you were beaten to the punch.
That does happen from time to time. Never been beaten to the buffet, though.
Here comes our great Canadian flyover that we planned.
They're out of formation.
Which direction are they headed?
That way.
North, east, southwest.
What a beautiful sky. I'm going to take a picture of that sky.
Did you notice when the geese fly in a V, one side's always longer than the other? You know why that is?
Why is that, Clinton?
There's more geese on that side.
Oh, wow.
Nice. Dad jokes for the win.
All right, stacked up and ready to go again. 6 to go, Beagle and DeBoer. Beagle this time on the bottom side will lead them down into corner number 1. Here comes Plazik. Now Wirt now will stick it through there, make it 3 wide off the second corner. Put Wirt to third.
That was a pretty move by Kyle Wirt, unless you ask Mike Thorne or Adam Plazik, and they thought it stunk.
Beagle out in front over DeBoer. Wirt in the third spot now, with Adam Plazik riding the back bumper of that number 19 side by side between Thorne and Huffman. That 13 machine looking racy, and we saw that over the last couple of years at Merrittville and Humberstone. Casey Huffman getting more competitive in that ride, and here he is challenging Mike Thorne.
Side by side as they pass the halfway mark. Thorne drives it deep down into 1 and 2. Huffman's going to concede that position. Out in front, it remains all Ryan Beagle, about 5 car lengths ahead of DeBoer in the 23. They've got a cushion back to Kyle Wirt, who's being attacked again by Adam Plazik. Plazik not going to settle for 4th.
Now Plazik's looking very cagey here tonight in that number 41. Here comes Mike Thorne with a good run onto the inside of him. They'll go 3 wide, and boy, they're not too far apart, those 3 cars, as they go through 3 and 4. Thorne's got a good run. 2 to go.
Yeah, Kyle Wirt was the odd man out there in the 19 machine. Loses a spot to both Thorne and Plazik, and they check up just a little bit off of turn number 2. Wirt right back in the mix.
Thorne on the bottom, Plazik on the outside as Ryan Beagle takes the white flag over Trevor DeBoer. Great 3-car battle right now for the 3rd spot.
First couple of donuts on the side of these race cars go to Mike Thorne and Adam Plazik. Thorne gets squirrely in turn number 1. Kyle Wirt to the inside. Plazik darts out ahead.
Checkered flag in heat race number 2. Ryan Beagle wins it over Trevor DeBoer. Adam Plazik's going to come out on top in 3rd. Then it's Wirt and Thorne. Huffman right up there with Go Fast Teeple. Andrus.
And I'll tell you, in recent years since Adam Plazik started to come out and do battle with us, he rarely comes out on top. Like, did you not find that he always seems to be in the wrong place at the wrong time? So, great race there for Adam Plazik.
Grabs 3rd in a great battle there with 2 drivers that are no slouches by any means.
Fun battle to watch. Heat race number 3 rolls out, and on the pole out of Ohsweken, the number 22 of Blake Bomberry Sr. On the outside of him in the 79 from Guelph, it's Christopher Hale. Row 2 on the inside, another senior. From Merlin, the 96 is Steve Shaw. Starting in 4th from Binbrook, the 427 is Tim Phelan. Starting 5th in the number 37 out of Harley, it's Robert Hoskins. Starting 6th out of Canfield, the 32 is Mark Fawcett. Starting 7th from Ohsweken, the 38 is Frank Turkey. Starting 8th from Jerseyville, the 53 is Logan Schwedick. And starting 9th out of Hagersville, the 93 is Melissa Miller.
I also see Bryce Richardson out there in the 11R, so late edition there, and the 2M, which I do not have a name on.
Yeah, I don't know who that is.
Green flag out, off they go into corner number 1 with Hale, your leader. Shaw right there in 2nd, and look at Mark Fawcett right now in the 32. Shot through a cannon through the corner, now moves up to 3rd.
Nice move by Fawcett out there, working over the 2nd place car, Steve Shaw Sr., but out in front, Chris Hale with a great opening lap.
Here comes Fawcett in the 32 to the outside of Shaw. He'll grab the 2nd spot away, and he'll track down leader Hale into corner number 3. Shaw holding down 3rd, then it's Hoskins and Schwedick door-to-door off of 4.
Top 5 in a pack have pulled away by a number of car lengths over the 6th place Bryce Richardson. Again, that 6th place position is an important spot out on the racetrack. Right now, Richardson has the spot by about 5 car lengths, but Melissa Miller started at the back. She is on her way through the field.
3 laps go up on the board this time by for Mark Fawcett over Chris Hale. Steve Shaw in the 3rd spot. Then it's Schwedick to 4th. Hoskins in 5th. Richardson from the back in that 6th position.
Yeah, Fawcett driving away from Christopher Hale in the 79. Shaw not quite able to keep pace with Hale. He's got Logan Schwedick and Hoskins Hot on his heels as they work through turn number 2. Schwedek trying to get a nose to the inside of the Shaw, number 96.
5 laps go up on the board this time for Mark Fawcett in the 32. He's got some of that chrome stripping or something hanging off on the right side, just over the tire on the right side, right front of the 32 machine. I think it's clear of the tire, so he should be okay here. This time by, it'll be 2 laps left to go.
2 more laps as Bryce Richardson closing in on the top 5. Every position you can gain in the heat race puts you another row and a half ahead in the starting lineup for the feature event. So this heat race is all Fawcett, Hale. Oh, trouble for Logan Schwedek in the 53. He slows on the back straightaway. Looks like it's got to be a flat left rear tire on that 53 machine. And we got one around in turn number 2. That's the
Tim Phelan?
Tim Phelan. I remembered he was from Binbrook. I couldn't remember his name. What a sky. I've missed that.
It's nice to be able to see the back stretched now, the glare up here. It's not just off my forehead either.
No, for sure.
38 machine. Frank Turkey showing some smoke.
So Phelan going to have to close in. We're going to go green out of turn number 4. He's got half a track to make up in a short time. 2 laps to go to settle this one for the Middleport Mechanical Thunderstocks.
So it's Fawcett on the bottom side, continuing to lead over Hale, Hoskins, Shaw, side by side right now for that 5th spot. It's Bryce Richardson in the 11R, but we don't have a name yet on the 2M. It is on the scoring pylon now, but
it's Mark McDonald.
Mark McDonald.
At least that's what's on the roster as the 2M, a rookie this season. One more time around, McDonald working the outside of Bryce Richardson. Melissa Miller on the outside looking in right now. Checkered flag in the air. It's going to be Fawcett, Hale, Hoskins, Shaw, Richardson, McDonald, Melissa Miller, Turkey, Bombury Sr. Rounding out the field, Phelan.
So that concludes qualifying for the Middleport Mechanical Thunderstocks. Don't forget to be back next Friday night, 7:30 start time. APC Auto Parts Centers presents the UMP Canadian Modifieds featuring NASCAR legend Ken Schrader, plus the 358 Modifieds will be here. Thunderstocks and Mini Stocks, 360s and crate sprints will be off next Friday night.
Well, what was the reasoning behind that? Like, I know they wanted to create a modified special, but was there a reason to give the sprint cars a night off? Is there an event somewhere?
That's
I don't think
that's a
there
Clinton
is.
Jeffrey question. I don't know. I'm sure there is a reason.
Cool Kids Core Pack 360 Sprints. Our featured division coming onto the racetrack. Here's how they'll line up for heat race number 1. Starting on the pole from Brantford, the number 10 is Mitch Brown. Starting in second out of Brampton, the 70MM is Dave McKnight Jr. Starting third from Ohsweken, the 0 is Glenn Stiers, and to his outside from Ohsweken, the 15 is Dan Nanakote. Starting fifth, the 87X out of Scotland is Sean Evans. Starting sixth from Niagara Falls, the 70 is Bailey Hurd. Starting seventh from Ohsweken, the 68 is Aaron Turkey, and rounding out the field from Tilsonburg, the 13 is Corey Turner. Mitch Brown with CarQuest on the wing of his race car this season. Different look. I like the look of that race car.
Yeah, I was thinking that during hot laps. I really like the looks of both Mitch and Jake's cars this year. Something fresh, clean and crisp. CarQuest and Brown Auto Service on that number 10.
Of course, Glenn Stiers with his Canadian Motorsports Hall of Fame induction last Saturday night in the Ohsweken Speedway number 0. Dave McKnight Jr. not making the call for this heat, so he had trouble in practice earlier on. Obviously, they weren't able to get things sorted out. Is that Dave McKnight?
Yes, it is. So we'll wait another lap.
Fashionably late was Dave McKnight in the 70mm. He will relinquish his starting spot to the Nitro 54, number 15 of Dan Nanico. Of course, Corey Turner with the Petro Plus Burger Barn look on that 13 machine. And we talked about this, Greg. I think you had a good idea. We're going to do this. We're going to try to work the sponsors of these race cars in throughout the night, throughout the race, instead of reading them off like a grocery list. I think it'll give us a bit more ownership of it.
Why do you saying groceries make me hungry? Anyways, green flag, 360 sprint cars back to action here at Ohsweken Speedway. Mitch Brown down the bottom side. Here comes the Ohsweken flyer. Glenn Stiers to second.
Bailey Hurd had trouble firing in that number 70 as he drops to the back of the field. Corey Turner with a good start as contact. And we've got one over as Dan Nanico. Contact between Glenn Stiers and Mitch Brown. There was a lot to unpack.
There was a lot that just unpacked right there as Mitch Brown looped it around down the bottom side. Dan Nanico was trying to avoid calamity on the outside, and he ends up being the one going up and over in the Nitro 54, number 15. And Glenn Stiers, out of all that, I believe, is going to end up the leader.
Unless he gets put to the back for possibly having a part in that incident. We'll have to wait and see. Let's have a look at our GeForce TV replay. Yeah, if Glenn gets put to the back, he deserved it. He got a good head of steam there and made contact with the Mitch Brown number 10.
Good eyes at him.
And, I don't think it was malicious.
No.
It's just a matter of, now Glenn Stiers has been racing a modified. He's been racing a Pinty Series car. All of that racing requires a different timing. So he mistimed whatever that move was in 3 and 4, but he squared him up pretty good.
I didn't catch that, but it shocked me that Mitch would be going around because Mitch is so smooth, and I thought, what's going on here? But yeah, the replay clearly shows he got some help from the backside.
Well, we see Dan Nanico here getting his helmet off inside the Nitro 54, Creative Edge number 15. Dan's had a few of these tumbles in the past couple years. Certainly not the way going to stay in the car. Dan, we got to stop meeting like this, bud. This can't be good for you.
No, that's not the way I wanted to start opening night, but I don't think it's too bad. I felt so the car should be repairable.
You'll get out there. Dan Nanico, he's got a great crew, guys. They'll be able to get it. If you look, they've got a flat left rear here, a broken top wing, and the other issue here is in the front. They're going to have to do some work here. It's stuck all mud, stuck all in the lip there of the rim, so they'll have to get that fixed out as well.
Steve Lyons will not stand for that.
Steve is a clean freak of all freaks, so.
And now one thing we'll say, Doug Leonard, the race director here at Ohsweken, he runs a tight ship. Clinton, you might be able to correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think he uses replays. Okay, I don't think they have a monitor over there. When we do other events, quite often the race director will come over and look at replays and make a call based on that. Doug prefers to make his calls live time as Dan Nanico waving to the crowd. See, we don't even have to tell the crowd to show your appreciation. They give a big round of applause. During the pandemic, Dan was one of many people who stepped up and really helped support sprint car racing and keep it alive and well. I mean, Jay Hill from Burger Barn, Glenn Stiers, Dan Nanico, Corpac Merchandising. Clint, am I leaving anybody out?
No, I think you're pretty good. I got Mitch Brown here. Mitch, tough welcome back here to Ohsweken. Are you okay? What have they told you about your car here?
Apparently it's all good, so just go ahead or pass some cars here.
There's Ohsweken Mitch Brown says, they tell me it's all good. I'm going to go out and pass some cars. So we'll see how Mitch can do. As you know, they raced away from us the last couple seasons. Good to have him back here. Former champion.
That is so Mitch Brown. Even when Mitch is angry, he's very soft-spoken, calm, and he'll just deal with it in Mitch's way. And I think we're going to see that right now with some passing.
Yeah, I think we will.
Got to say hi to formerly Brittany Jacari, who's our scorer here in the tower normally, married to Chris Steele, so now Brittany Steele. And they're at home watching with their new little one, Nora Lorraine. And Brittany message said she misses us. We miss you, Brittany. Always a lot of fun here in the tower. And talked to Chris very briefly through the offseason, and he said he thinks the number 80 is going to just rest in the corner for a year. And he's just going to enjoy being a dad, and he's also taken over the business, Niagara Dental Arts, as well. So we'll miss the real deal, Chris Steele, but he's living the real life right now as a dad and a business owner, and we wish them all the best. And just great people.
Yeah, you said it. Chris and Brittany. And probably Nora, too, but it's a little early to tell. But I give her the benefit of the doubt. So we wait to see what order we will restart in.
This is where Mitch would love the Brighton rule. You get spun, get your spot back.
I don't like that rule.
That's why I brought it up.
It's a dog-eat-dog world.
I'm not a fan of it either.
What should prevent you from spinning someone out the second time is the shiner. I shouldn't endorse violence.
All right, so Glenn Stiers and Corey Turner.
Corey Turner on the original start started 8th.
Wow. He's made some moves here. Corey had a post yesterday, I think it was, that how much things have changed since 2019. He's married, got a little one now, and life has changed for him as well. And like you said, he's not that wily older veteran, but he's not the young gun anymore. He's right in that middle spot, the sweet spot.
Old enough to know better, but still too young to care.
Back into the green with the Ohsweken Flyer, Glenn Stiers, newly inducted in the Canadian Motorsport Hall of Fame. He is the leader over Corey Turner. Sean Evans rides in third. He'll feel the pressure from Aaron Turkey.
Great battles for first, third, and fifth out there as Mitch Brown looking for some racing room to get back towards the front. Corey Turner continues to put the pressure on Glenn Stiers. Stiers up high, Turner running a little bit lower in the turns.
2 laps go on the board for Ohsweken. Ontario's Glenn Stiers out in front over Corey Turner. Mitch Brown already up to the third spot. He'll try to track down those top 2 as Corey Turner puts the pressure on the 0.
Turner is looking for the right line to run. He doesn't have the bite coming off the corner that Glenn Stiers has in the 0.
Glenn looks like the Glenn of old. He has got that thing ripping around the outside line right now. Cross flags, 4 in, 4 to go. Corey Turner charging hard on the bottom. He'll slide up in front of car number 0, but here comes Stiers back down to the inside.
Stiers going to return the favor of the slide job in 3 and 4. He goes for a bounce. Corey Turner loses bite.
That was 2 calamities in 1 and 2 separate incidences, and they still stay in the same positions, 1 and 2. That was Stiers and Turner.
That was 2 crashes that just didn't happen.
2 laps left to go for Glenn Stiers. A great battle up in front. Remember, in 2019, Corey Turner won one of the triple 15s on Nationals weekend. He was right in the thick of it, and he's got it going here again tonight, coming to the white flag.
I love watching Corey search for a groove that's going to work for that Burger Bar Petro Plus number 13. But the Ohsweken Flyer is out in front. He's got 2 more turns to collect a win.
Down the back stretch, they sail through 3 and 4 for the final time. Checkers out, and the Ohsweken Flyer, Glenn Stiers, going to pick up the win over Corey Turner. Third will go to Mitch Brown, then it's Sean Evans, 4th, 5th, Aaron Turkey, and 6th will be Dave McKnight.
I wonder when was the last time Glenn Stiers won a heat race at Ohsweken Speedway in a 360 sprint car.
I wonder too.
Tommy,
help us.
Wow. That was some good sprint car racing there. And I'll tell you, Greg, that is the product of having a lot of race cars. There are places and events you go where the heat races don't mean too much. You can't take a lap off here at Ohsweken Speedway.
Well, guys, we're out here in turn number 3 and 4, and there's a big cushion starting to build up. We'll adjust it during intermission, but I don't know if you guys can see it, but it is a big one here. It goes halfway up my shin. We're going to keep working it. We'll bring out the Power Harrow from Case IH and work this in intermission, but we got about 3 more races to get through.
Just have Adam do his 500 steps down there. We'll work it in.
Adam's got plans.
What are your plans at intermission?
My eyes are watering. I should have taken a detour coming up to the tower a little bit earlier.
I don't know what D word you were going to use. I should have taken a dip. I've missed you, Adam.
I'm so dedicated to my craft, though, Greg.
What is
You've
that?
missed me with every shot. Oh, we do have fun. As miserable as you are.
I've grown to like you.
The fact that you admit it ruins our whole shtick. We've got people that think we don't like each other.
Yeah.
And it's all a game. I mean, I love working with you. This team of you and me and Clinton the last couple of years has been more fun and more rewarding. But the fact that people think that we don't like each other, I took a lot of pride in that.
I think it's funny that you think I actually do like you.
It's too late. It's too late. You said you miss me. You ruined it.
Sarcasm, buddy.
I'm done with you. That wasn't sarcasm. You almost hugged me. Starting on the bowl in heat race number 2 in the 45 at Mount Bridges is Nick Sheridan. Alongside him from St. Catharines in the 46, it's Kevin Pauls. Row 2 on the inside, not out of St. Catharines, out of Dorchester. The number 1 is Holly Porter, and alongside her in what seems to be a look-alike race car, we were watching that in practice. From Caister Center, the 11 is Jamie Turner. Starting 5th from Beamsville, the 88H is Josh Hansen. Starting 6th from Dunville, the 91 is Ryan Turner. Starting 7th from Scotland in the 47X, it's Dylan Westbrook. And starting 8th from Beachville, the 5 is DJ Christie.
More of those young guns in this one with Nick Sheridan. He was the crate sprint car champion in 2019, and DJ Christie already has victory in the 360 sprint cars.
Yeah, we did a lot of talking about how the crates were going to help the 360s. There's 2 more examples of it right there. DJ Christie, of course, won those races you mentioned with the Knights of Thunder. He wants to say hi to Frank and Dave and everybody from Quick here tonight. And how about young Nick Sheridan? 2019 was a rookie, never seen the dirt, came out and won the championship as a 14-year-old. He's got a great career ahead of him from his racing family. Of course, we'll be with his brother Jake Sheridan at APC race tomorrow at Flamborough. So one boy races the dirt, one boy races the blacktop.
And I have to think hard every time we announce either Jake Sheridan or Nick Sheridan. I don't know why it's not crystal clear in my mind that Jake runs pavement, Nick runs dirt. But I always stumble over that. Think, if I got this right? I hear that Dylan Westbrook's pretty good too in the 47X.
Yeah, I think we'll see him towards the front here very quick. 8 cars in this qualifying heat. 5 came out of the crate sprint car division over the years.
DJ Christie swings to the outside in that bright yellow number 5. It looked great to start, but did not work. Dylan Westbrook also didn't make a whole lot of gains in the first half a lap, so he's got some ground to make up.
Sheridan and Porter 1 and 2. Ryan Turner right now sits in the 3rd spot. He's got to win this year at Merrittville Speedway with the Southern Ontario Sprints. Father Jamie Turner right behind him. Josh Hansen had a handful in corner 4 that time.
Yeah, that car is evil as Dylan Westbrook way up to the outside. Look at the run down the back straightaway for the 47X.
Sheridan continues to lead over Porter, Turner, Jamie Turner. Here comes D-Dubs. Dylan Westbrook to the outside of Jamie Turner. Takes over the 4th spot now.
Out in front, though, tricky Nick Sheridan in the 45 machine. Pride Seeds, Vibrant Farms entry. Opens an advantage over Holly Porter. Also looking good out there in the Ohsweken Speedway number 1. The Kingpin Farms 91 is Ryan Turner. He's kind of stalled out there in third, but able to hold off Dylan Westbrook for the time being.
Holly Porter really overcooked corner number 4, and that allowed Ryan Turner to get by her down in the next turn. And here comes Dylan Westbrook to her outside. This time high, 2 laps left to go for Nick Sheridan. Here comes Westbrook to the outside of Porter. They touch.
That was close. This change of underwear is brought to you by
Mighty Wipes. Get on that, Clint. Mighty Wipes.
Yeah. Westbrook with a big old slider on Ryan Turner. He'll slide up in front of the 91, but no way is he going to catch our heat race winner, Nick Sheridan, in the 45. Westbrook second. Oh, Turner with problems. He finishes 4th. Holly Porter up to 3rd. 5th is Josh Hansen. Then is Jamie Turner, DJ Christie, and Kevin Pauls.
Okay, now, Adam, does it not feel weird to think Dylan Westbrook in this race, with all the racing he's done the last 2 years, he's the defending champion of this division?
Right.
It just feels weird to say that.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
So the crate sprint car defending champion wins the race. The defending 360 champ right behind him in the second spot, Dylan Westbrook.
So one of our Case IH pieces of equipment out onto the racetrack now. Not sure if they're going to do some work or if they're just getting into position for when intermission comes after this next qualifying heat.
Yeah, it's the latter. That's Zigger in the Case IH machine up there. We are looking at this big curb that's starting to develop in 3 and 4. We will chop that up at intermission right after the Fan Blast 500. Our Ackland Insurance Top Gun Awards to be awarded as well. And we'll see what these guys do. A couple more to go here.
Here's how they're going to line up for the final heat race of the night. From Fenwick on the pole, it's the 14H of Jim Hoopinen. On the outside of him, it's the highlight man, Mac DeMann from Mississauga in the 17X. Second row on the inside from Warrnambool, Victoria, Australia. Driving the 20 is Braden Cooley. Alongside him from Binbrook, the number 9 is Liam Martin. What an international heat we have. Third row on the inside from Lewiston, New York. The 81 is Derek Jonathan. Alongside him from Grimsby, it's the 90 of Travis Cunningham. Rounding out the field from Port Colborne, the 5D is Jacob Dykstra. And to his outside from Brantford, Little Ben 110 of Jake Brown.
Okay, so say that one more time.
Warrnambool.
Warrnambool.
Work on that. Nailed it.
Final qualifying heat of the night. Out the green flag, the red rocket, Jim Hoopinen, and the highlight man, Mac DeMann. The man on the outside will fire it way upstairs.
Hoopinen with that slow rolling slider on Mac DeMann. DeMann going to return the favor in 3 and 4. He'll lead the way off of turn number 4, lead lap 1.
Man, I watched them throw it down into 3, and I thought, boy, what Clint's been showing us, that big lip there in corner 4, they were going to hit it. Sure enough, they did, but they come out clean.
Liam Martin looks sporty on that first lap in the number 9, but Travis Cunningham gets around him in the 90. Braden Cooley in the 20 runs third.
Travis has been impressing this year, had a good finish down at Merrittville Speedway this year, and that's a team with not a lot of money backing behind him, but Travis can really put the power down.
He can really build some horsepower as well. Second generation engine builder.
Cross flags are out, 4 and 4 to go for Mac DeMann, and it's Jim Hoopinen right now holding off Braden Cooley. And you got to think, if you're Jim Hoopinen, I want to beat that 20 machine.
I'm not letting a single Ohsweken car pass me all year long if I'm Jim Hoopinen. As he squeezes down on Cooley, bounces off the cushion, but he'll maintain that spot.
He's got the second position, trying to pinch Cooley down just a little bit. DeMann still out in front. It'll be 5 complete. I'll make it 6 complete this time by 2 to go.
Cooley drove it deep down into turn 3, lost the nose of that race car, so he had to roll out of the throttle, lost a little bit of ground, but Mac DeMann, he is making no mistake in this one. He has owned this heat race. White flag flies.
Final time around for Mac DeMann over Jim Hoopinen. Cooley right now in the 3rd spot. Then it's Travis Cunningham, fourth, and a good battle between Liam Martin and Jacob Brown right now for position 5.
Yeah, a lot of fun watching that battle, but out in front, Mac DeMann going to take the win. Hoopinen comes home second. Braden Cooley third. Fourth to Travis Cunningham, and who's it going to be? Liam Martin finishes fifth, followed by Jake Brown, Jacob Dykstra, and Derek Jonathan. Those were some efficiently run heats, Greg Calvin. It is 5 minutes past 9, and the heats in tonight's program are complete. So after a bit of a late start, these drivers and the track crew doing a great job to run off that qualifying.
Still a B-main to go, and we see those cars over there on the what is the Thursday night micro sprint track. They've got brand new lighting over there, so it helps us. We get to see them a little bit better now.
Yeah, for sure. Do you ever drive home, Greg, and you've really got to go? And it's like the last 5 minutes, but it's like your bladder knows when you're pulling into the driveway. I'm right there. I thought the B-main was going to be after intermission. I'm in those last 5 kilometers to get to the driveway.
I'm pretty sure Clint and I could handle this B-main if you need to go push some people out of the way down the Watford.
Elbows out. No, I'm not going to miss a the first Consi of the year. B-main is the best race of the night.
Well, guys, the Fan Blast 500-foot race is coming up next, so if you're ready, we're going to be looking for you.
The way it sounds, though, Fan Blast, you'd think there should be a fire hose somewhere, like just when you think you've got it won.
That's round number 2.
Oh, man.
So tonight will be a physical challenge. Next one will be a trivia challenge. And then when we have our Pinty's big NASCAR race, we're going to have a wing eating contest for $500. So all kinds of contests in our Fan Blast series. And hopefully you guys enjoy it.
I say we put a porta-john at the end of this thing and let Adam go at it here tonight.
Well, now that you mention it, there's a porta-john at the end of the grandstands. If Adam wants to race down there, everybody claps. We can make that happen.
Talk about stage fright.
I'll tell a story about my buddy James Michael Friesen, sportsman driver. I says, Jimmy, do you get nervous for the race? He goes, every race night when the Thunderstock showed at Maryville, I'm in the porta-john watching race monitor trying to figure out how much time I got before my guts will let me get back in my race car.
Oh, dear.
If we don't have poop jokes, what do we got, right, boys?
No joke.
It's good to be back with you guys. We're getting great comments from everybody watching online. Hopefully you're enjoying the live action presented on GeForce TV here live from Ohsweken Speedway's 25th season opener. We'll be here every Friday night and all the big events. Well, guys, we got a bunch of newcomers out here trying to fight for the last few spots in tonight's A-main.
Noel Teal will start from the pole out of Hagersville in the 14T alongside Chris Relf out of St. George in the 69K, but I believe he's decided to go to the back of the pack. Matt Hill in the MK8 out there, as well as Tyler Powless in the 77T out of Ohsweken. Andrew Marshall in the 48 from Dorchester. Jordan Hill out of Ohsweken in the 28 starts 6th. 7th, Terry Baker from Ancaster in the 26X. Remember, he had problems in the qualifying heat. Brian Nanakoke as well had troubles, and he's starting 8th in the 9C. And Cam McKinnon from Ridgeway in the 85C will start at the tail.
So a few adjustments to the starting lineup. I think some of it for people wanting to go to the back of the field. Some of it, I don't know why, Greg. In what might be the slowest set of pace laps in recent
Doug's playing this for you. We're going to take 5 more courtesy laps here.
Actually, Doug's been barking at them saying, guys, this is a terrible pace speed. Pick it up. Let's go.
Noel Teal leading the way in that 14T. She is the one who will decide when to put the hammer down.
Green flag out. Tyler Powless is the one that leads down into corner number 1 in that JR's Riverside Bait and Tackle 77T. Here comes Brian Nanakoke now to the outside of the 14 of Noel Teal.
Wow, that was close quarters there.
Terry Baker trying to slice his way through. He'll get down to the inside of the 14, follow Jordan Hill, now up to the 4th position.
Yeah, Jordan Hill had to bite the brakes on that first lap. It seems to have worked out all right. He's up there in the 3rd spot. 6 cars will transfer, so right now the first car on the outside is that 48 machine.
Nanakoke around in corner number 2, and that puts us under the caution flag.
Going to say Andrew Marshall was on the outside looking in, but now he is on the inside looking forward.
Two in 10 to go. The longest 10 laps of your life, Adam.
You know, mind over matter, Greg.
I'm going to keep reminding you to make it
put
worse.
it behind me.
There we see Brian go around in corner number 2. Canada Fuels Nitro 54 variety number 9C. Crow, as they call him.
Man, oh man, how crisp is the imagery here tonight?
Send a shout out to our new turn 4 worker, young Carter Long, out there on pylon duty night, his first time as an official here. He runs our micro sprints, been a flagger over there on Thursdays for many nights, and Doug said, I think it's time we get Carter up to the big leagues. So welcome, Carter Long.
Folks, there is a lot of opportunity. If you never want to pay to watch a race again, there's opportunity to come out, be a track worker, be an official, be an announcer. God knows our shelf life's got to be close to up. Right?
So Carter is the main starter on Thursday nights, right, Clint?
Yeah, that's right. We're trying to get a full junior crew together and shadow all the major jobs. As Adam said, we're trying to bring up the next generation here, and we got junior announcers, junior scorers, and, you know, McLean's ready to go, your boy, and Caitlin DeBoer. They've been waiting patiently almost 3 years now to get back at it, and we will be streaming a bunch of the micro sprint stuff. So, I mean, a lot of these guys came out. Noel Teal, I mean, the list goes on and on of drivers that came right out of micro sprints. Van Every,
Holly Porter.
Yeah, all these guys. We go through the list. Dylan Westbrook. It's a great way to get started on Thursdays here on the micro sprints, and they are getting started again. Ashton and Van Every will lead them off to turn 1, guys. It's all yours.
Jordan Hill there in that 2nd spot, trying to fend off Terry Baker. Baker slips to the inside of him. All the while, Tyler Powless out in front in that JR's Riverside Bait and Tackle 70-17 over Baker, Hill, and Teal.
Dan Nanakoke has a long way to go and a short time to get there in the 9C. He's got to work his way up to the 6th spot. Right now being held by Andrew Marshall in the 48. Nanakoke's car doesn't look to be handling quite the way he would like.
No, after the way he was running earlier on, and now to have these problems, a difficult night again for Brian Nanakoke. And that Canada Fuels 9C, meanwhile, at the front, Terry Baker. He was running 2nd in his qualifying heat when the car shut off, and he's got the power going now. He's taken the lead from Tyler Powless.
Jordan Hill just about put that car backwards in 3 and 4, and we've got a battle out there for the 6th spot. New driver in 6th from the looks of it, the 85C of Cam McKinnon.
Cross flags up in the air. 6 in, 6 to go for Terry Baker over Powless, Hill, Matt Hill, and now problems for the 69K on the backstretch, and I'm not sure if that will, well, no, he's going to get some speed going here, so we'll stay under the green flag.
Yeah, he's going for now, and Brian Nanakoke doing a lot better now. He's come down the racetrack just a little bit. There he had to take evasive action to go around the outside of Marshall. Nanakoke closing in. Whoa! Nope, Nanakoke's around.
I thought that was going to happen. He went to the outside of the slower machine and ended up running out of room to make a proper turn and gets spun around the Canada Fuels number 9C. So Brian Nanakoke will put us back under the caution flag. Just ran out of real estate up there in 1.
That could have been a whole lot worse. I'm glad that wasn't a tumble, just a spin. We like spins. You know, the fans like spins.
I would call that a gulper slide, because he was sliding backwards going, oh, am I going over? And Brian Nanakoke up here, not a great welcome back to Ohsweken for either of the Nanakoke brothers here. The car looks all right, though. We'll get out and get a look at it for you in a second.
How do these engines like rolling backwards like that, Clint? Does that do any trouble to them?
I don't really know. That's a great question. We'll have to figure out. And you can see that we're in the way of the tow trucks here. We'll just get out of the way a bit, and then we'll get your shots. But yeah, I think it's all right, Adam. That's a great question. We're going to have to figure that one out. I know there was a talk about it in NASCAR a few weeks ago with Larson, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, we're over here. They're going to tow up the Fuels 9C of Brian Nanakoke. I don't see any major damage to the car. I think the rear suspension's broken, though. Yeah, you can see it's sitting right on the ground. The frame rails are right down low. Broken deal. What are you doing, Brian? This ain't the way you're supposed to start your season.
I got nothing for you.
I don't expect you to. Brian Nanakoke, nothing for us, guys, and always a jokester. He's got nothing to say, though. A little bit disappointed, as you can imagine.
For sure, it's been a long time coming, right? Disappointing way to start opening night. Actually, a more disappointing way to end your opening night.
I think I'm going to use that line with you. I've got nothing for you.
I thought you were going to say disappointing.
That's always disappointing with you.
Terry Baker out in front in the 26X. Tyler Powell is second in the 77T. Jordan Hill is third in the 28. Fourth, it's Matthew Hill in the MK8. Fifth is Noel Teal in the 14T. And in the all-important sixth spot is the 85C of Cam McKinnon. And he will hope to hold off the 48 of Andrew Marshall.
5 laps left to go here in this B-main. And we are taking 6, Adam?
I think so.
So we...
If you say it with confidence, it's fact. Yeah, I believe when there's 3 heats, they take 6, 6, 6, and then 6 out of the constant.
Gotcha. Jordan Hill slips by Tyler Powell into the second spot. This time by it'll be 4. No, they're going to say it's 2 to go since we got the shorter field now.
Marshall and McKinnon are right behind Noel Teal. One of those 3 drivers is not going to make it into the A-main, and I have a feeling they might be able to make a move on Noel Teal here as the white flag flies.
Final time around for Terry Baker. Some redemption from his qualifying heat earlier on here tonight. Jordan Hill working that outside line with Tyler Powell right behind him.
Down the back straightaway they go. Out in front it's Terry Baker, but I'm looking at the back of the field. What a battle it's going to be between McKinnon and Marshall. It's Baker, Hill, Powless, Hill, Teal, and Marshall going to take the final transfer spot into tonight's A-main.
So that will conclude qualifying. The mute button goes on for Adam Ross, and if you see him going by as he's walking down the stairs, give him a little tickle. If you're headed to the washroom, please make sure to take your time and block the entryway. Well, we'll be back with features and a whole lot more here at Ohsweken Speedway after this quick break.
I've always had this spirit that I wanted to invent something new, and so when we got into clothing, I got immersed into it, and the only way that you would really understand how to build clothing is to become a pattern maker. That pattern maker concept started becoming very interesting to me because I went, I can make this better. Love it. Absolutely love designing. Doesn't matter whether it's a garment or an engine or a car, decals on our race cars. I love doing it. That's my forte.
You're so tasty, drive me crazy, ain't nothing I can do.
Early man discovered fire, but Quick perfected fire. Quick is the only fire starter that guarantees to start your campfire, wood stove, or fireplace without the need for kindling or paper. Find your nearest Quick retailer at quickwick.com.
So who exactly is Fast Eddie? More than just a man, it's the mindset that runs through our blood like oil through an engine. Whether on the track or on the street, Fast Eddie is the spirit that drives us to go fast and keep going. Born in 1949 with no time to look in the rearview mirror, every story is worth telling, and every piece of Fast Eddie apparel has its own. Celebrate our mindset. This is Fast Eddie. This is combustion culture. FastEddieSpeedwear.com.
On the scene since 1949, Fast Eddie was born with a lead foot and a burning need for speed. His passion for speed and sport has been captured in this authentic collection of vintage-themed gear. Created for gearheads, riders, and racers, Fast Eddie truly encompasses the great Canadian racing culture we have from coast to coast. Drive hard, get dirty, and look good doing it. Fast Eddie Speedwear. Get geared up.
Back at Ohsweken Speedway on G-Force TV, and we've gone to fans running around the track, and we got a pass for the lead in corner 4.
Oh boy, it's getting exciting. This is the Fan Blast 500, the first chance at Ohsweken for fans to win $500 for 500 steps. And he's coming down the home stretch. The envelope is there. Make some noise, fans.
Oh, they're getting into it.
Hey, the envelope's over here. Oh! The envelope's right here. You got to get the envelope. Right here, you got to get the envelope. Oh, he's struggling. He's tasting it. Hey, Kyle, let him have it. All right, he got it. How about here for our competitors in the Fan Blast 500? Come on down here, buddy. You got to get your victory lane picture. Come on down. Fast. What are you, tired or something, bud? Come on.
Wow.
Come on. You get the epic victory lane checkered flag. He picks up a trophy and $500 for the Fan Blast 500. Give me your name again, buddy. Where are you from?
Riley Burke, Cambridge, Ontario.
How about a hand for Riley, our Fan Blast 500 winner tonight? Awesome job, guys. We will finish the packing up here. We'll be ready to go in just a moment's time. We'll turn it back to Greg and Adam before we get our Top Gun Award winners out here.
Well, Greg, Adam is somewhere right now with the fans, I'm sure, but how about that? A come-from-behind victory there. Got passed in corner 4. And that was a lot of fun to watch. Definitely not fun to be a part of, I'm sure, as the last few come across the line. So feature time still to come here as they do some work up in corners 3 and 4 with Case IH equipment. As I mentioned earlier on, next Friday night, 7:30 start time, APC Auto Parts Centers presents the UMP Canadian Modifieds featuring NASCAR legend Ken Schrader, plus the 358 Modifieds, Thunderstocks, and Mini Stocks. The 360s and crate sprints are off next Friday night. In 2 weeks' time, it's Wall of Fame night, plus a duel on the dirt home race. Number 1, I guess that is going to be, plus 360 sprint cars and the crate sprint cars. And then for our special events here in 2022, should make mention for those of you that haven't checked the schedule out yet this year, we are doing the Canadian Sprint Car Nationals 3 times this year to make up for lost time. The 16th running of the Canadian Sprint Car Nationals comes up on Friday, July the 1st. Canada Day, $10,000 to the winner, along with the Action Sprint Tour and the Canadian 358 Modified Series. There'll be no Thunderstocks or Mini Stocks on that Friday night, so big night of racing on Canada Day. And then we head into the 17th running of the Canadian Sprint Car Nationals, which is on Monday, August the 15th. And that, again, $10,000 to win for the 360 Sprint Cars plus Action Sprint Tours event. Plus, we'll have the Quick NASCAR Pinty Series Hot Lap Dash for Cash in preparation for the following night, where Pinty's Delicious Foods presents the $25,000 to win Pinty's 100 for the NASCAR Pinty Series, their first time ever racing on dirt. Plus the Knights of Thunder 360 Sprint Cars. The Action Sprint Tour also on the card that night as well. You can go to npsondirt.com or OhswekenSpeedway.com to get advance reserve tickets for the NASCAR Pinty Series here on dirt for the first time Those two dates, August 15th and 16th, Monday and Tuesday night. And then we'll wrap up the season, as always, on Friday, September the 16th. It'll be the Nitro 54 Variety Canadian Crate Nationals for the Crate Sprints, $5,000 to win, plus the Canadian Sprint Car National Triple 15s for the 360s. And then on Saturday, September the 17th, Nitro 54 Variety and Aero Express present the 18th running of the Canadian Sprint Car Nationals. Another $10,000 to win for the 360 sprint cars, plus $5,000 to win for the Crate Sprints. Saturday, September 17th. And it's going to be an action-packed year here in 2022, the 25th racing season here at Ohsweken Speedway. I'm glad you could be here for opening night on take number 3 at the Big O. Take a look at some of the upcoming events here on G-Force. Of course, tomorrow night, Clinton Adam and Jamie Maudsley will be over at Flamborough Speedway for the London Recreational Racing 100 for the APC Series. The Quick Wick Superstock Series will also be on the card tomorrow night, along with the Can-Am Midgets tomorrow, live right here on G-Force. Also on June the 18th, the AP Emissions Technologies 100 for the APC Series at Peterborough Speedway. And then on Thursday, June the 30th, right before we run our first Canadian Sprint Car Nationals here at Ohsweken, we'll be down at Humberstone Speedway for the Pinty's Knights of Thunder 360 Sprint Car Series, plus the Canadian 358 Modified Tour. That's Thursday, June the 30th. And then, of course, the following night right here at Ohsweken Speedway with the 16th running of the Canadian Sprint Car Nationals. You can see more dates and times at gforcetv.net. And in fact, if you go to gforcetv.net now, you can see the upcoming live schedule. We get a lot of questions asked. Are you live at this track or are you not? If you go to gforcetv.net, the complete live schedule is right down there, about halfway down the page on the right-hand side, and you can see where GeForce TV will be live here in 2022. Having a quick look at the replay. Oh, and the face plant on the Fan Blast 500 there, but an A for effort. And I think what we'll do, we'll take a quick commercial break. We've got some program prizes to give away to the fans here, and those watching at home will go for a quick commercial break and come back as we get closer to feature time here at Ohsweken Speedway on GeForce TV.
So who exactly is Fast Eddie? More than just a man, it's the mindset that runs through our blood like oil through an engine. Whether on the track or on the street, Fast Eddie is the spirit that drives us to go fast and keep going. Born in 1949 with no time to look in the rearview mirror, every story is worth telling, and every piece of Fast Eddie apparel has its own. Celebrate our mindset. This is Fast Eddie. This is combustion culture. FastEddieSpeedwear.com.
Early man discovered fire, but Quick Wick perfected fire. Quick Wick is the only fire starter that guarantees to start your campfire, wood stove, or fireplace without the need for kindling or paper. Find your nearest Quick Wick retailer at quickwick.com.
I've always had the spirit that I wanted to invent something new. And so when we got into clothing, I got immersed into it in the only way that you would really understand how to build clothing is to become a pattern maker. That pattern maker concept started becoming very interesting to me because I went, I can make this better. Love it. Absolutely love designing. Doesn't matter whether it's a garment or an engine or a car, decals on our race cars. I love doing that. That's my forte.
On the scene since 1949, Fast Eddie was born with a lead foot and a burning need for speed. His passion for speed and sport has been captured in this authentic collection of vintage-themed gear. Created for gearheads, riders, and racers, Fast Eddie truly encompasses the great Canadian racing culture we have from coast to coast. Drive hard, get dirty, and look good doing it. Fast Eddie Speedwear. Get geared up.
You're so tasty. Drive me crazy. Ain't nothing I can do.
Early man discovered fire, but Quick perfected fire. Quick is the only fire starter that guarantees to start your campfire, wood stove, or fireplace without the need for kindling or paper. Find your nearest Quick retailer at quickquick.com.
Back live on G-Force TV from Ohsweken Speedway, the first night of Friday night excitement since 2019. I'm Greg Kellman. With me, Adam Ross, down trackside, Clinton Jeffrey. And I'll tell you what, sometimes promoters have ideas and you think, what's that idea about? I like this Fan Blast 500. That was fun to watch these guys boot around this. Well, some of them didn't boot towards the end, but that was a fun watch. And you missed out on it, Adam. And I teed you up just as you jammed that Pinty's chicken finger right in your mush.
And I do it again.
No, I enjoyed that. King of the Hill was supposed to be earlier this year, but I guess that's off the charts now.
Must be, but I've seen some good YouTube videos of some King of the Hill highlights.
Did you see that one circulating this week?
Oh, boy, oh boy.
How do you call insurance on Monday and explain that one?
Well, yeah. We have a problem. Houston, we have a problem.
Beautiful Friday night here at Ohsweken Speedway. Those watching at home getting to see all the new sight lines here. That's what I've enjoyed watching, the infield shots, looking down the backstretch especially. There we see all the lighting over in the camping area. That is going to be a happening place this summer when the NASCAR Pinty Series comes to town in August. And then the new sight lines with the VIP suites over in corner number 3 and the pool house in corner number 2. It's just a totally different look. And if you're wondering, yeah, that's a new poured concrete wall now on the back and the front stretch. No longer those blocks that we still see them in the infield and a few spots on the outside, but poured concrete wall. And that's just what we're seeing around the track area. When you pull in from the front, it's a huge difference.
Everything. And I was saying before we went on, the difference in the backstretch and front stretch walls, that's just a huge aesthetic difference. Looks great out there. I think Glenn's going to have to do something with the pool house. Like, I think that should look like a beach party every night. It needs to be strobe lights and disco balls.
Adam Ross in a hula skirt.
I just had a vision of National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. Cousin Eddie wearing water wings and I can't swim, Clark. I know, Eddie.
You're a lot like Eddie.
A little bit.
All right, our program prize draw, we'll get these numbers in one more time because I think there's still a few that haven't been claimed. 135, 173, 103, and 199. So if you have any of those program numbers, please go to the base of the flag stand to claim your prize. So far I've got a crate sprint car feature lineup here. Do you have any others yet, Adam? I see Jesse Costa and Tyler Ward on the front row for the crate sprint car division. And that's going to be quite the front row here tonight. Jesse Costa, you'd like to see the guy finish the complete season and not have some sort of problem. He had the back injury a few years ago when he was looking for the championship, and he's someone that should have multiple championships right now aboard the Bar Motorsports number 4. So to see him on the pole tonight, he'll definitely be one to watch. Tyler Ward outside of him looked very stout in his qualifying heat. Thunderstocks, Dave Bailey, Ryan Beagle on the front row. So the heavy hitters right up front. And here come the mini stocks with our first feature of the night. And I got this one, Adam. You're a little preoccupied with some Pinty's delicious foods. So let's go through the starting lineup for our first feature of the night. 15 laps the distance for the HRW Automotive Mini Stocks. Dusty DeBoer on the pole. He's from Hagersville in the 23. Eric York alongside from Smithville in the 51. Going from third, it's Matt Newell from Hagersville in the 2. And outside, Jason Tolton out of Guelph in car number 1. Jeremy May will start 5th. He's from Hagersville in the 10X. And Tyler LaFantasy from Thorold in the 96 will go from the 6th spot. Rodney Rutherford, he hails from Dundas, and he'll start 7th in car number 24. To his outside, Nick Erskine had a good solid run in his qualifying heat. He's from Brantford in the 64, and he will start in 8th. Going from 9th, Mike Sarantakos out of Smithville in the 6X, and Ryan Hiller, the defending Rookie of the Year in the 21H. He is from New Hamburg. He'll start in the 10th spot. Good to see Jeremy Hughes back in the 10J. He'll start from 11th. He's from Burlington. And Tristan De Silva out of Waterdown in the 01. He'll go from 12th. Starting in 13th from Dundas, the 69 of Rob Twitchett. Alongside him from Waterford, that'll be Wade Thorne. Jeff Elslager out of Linden in the 11E will start 15th. And it's Tim Newell in the 16th starting spot aboard 26. 17th spot, Fabio Olivieri out of Ancaster in the 16. Alongside him, Paul Longboat from Ohsweken in the 188. Christopher French starts 19th in the 54. The 1A of Ashton Dickey is 20th. 21st starting spot, the 9 of Tim DeBoer. Alongside him, Nico Hansen. And then it's Mike Evers, Dave Goodacre, Aiden Nye, Lyle White, Steve Miller, Joey Wilcox, Mike Iverson, and Don Deagle. 30 cars, 15 laps, first feature in a long, long time here at Ohsweken Speedway. Down at corner number 1 they go with DeBoer out in front. Newell right behind him. Matt Newell in that number 2 has York to his outside, and they're 4 wide behind them.
These cars look beautiful under the lights here at the Big O, battling off of turn number 4, but leading lap number 1, it's DeBoer.
So Dusty DeBoer out in front, 1 on the board. Matt Newell right now riding in that 2nd spot. York in the 3rd position. LaFantasy riding in 4th. Nick Erskine, man, he has looked racy tonight, up there in the top 5.
That's the driver I was watching the last lap or so, just smoothly working the outside, headed towards the front. Continues to be DeBoer out front with York on the outside battling for 2nd, and we've got a yellow flag.
Going around down in corner number 2 on the inside wall, and that's Fabio Olivieri. I'll get it right one time tonight. I think I've said it both ways tonight.
You've sounded good every time.
Fabio into the blocks, down in corner number 2, puts us under the caution flag with 2 on the board, 13 to go. It's good to see that 64 up at the front with Nick Erskine now. Doug Erskine over the years had many a win in the number 64.
And of course, Nick Erskine, a 3rd generation racer. There have been many racing Erskines. And of course, Nick is cousin to Lance Erskine. No. Is Craig a brother Erskine or a cousin Erskine to Doug and Dan?
Okay, you've lost me.
For those of you scoring at home.
Genealogy is not my thing.
We're going to double up the field, I believe. We'll see the white flag.
So it'll be DeBoer on the outside, York on the bottom on this restart. Then Matt Newell in the 2, the 64 of Nick Erskine, Tyler LaFantasy, and Ryan Hiller on the outside the 21/8. Those are your top 6 coming back to the green flag. Then back in row number 4 is where we see Jay Tolton, and it will be Jeremy May and the 10X. Those two are going to be a little tough to get used to until we figure out the colors on the numbers. So Jeremy May back in 8th, and then it's Roddy Rutherford and Tristan De Silva back in row 5. That's your top 10 coming back to the green flag with the 2 on the board and 13 to go.
York down low in the 51. DeBoer up high. Green flag in the air once again. Green lights coming on around the Speedway.
Dusty DeBoer and Nick Erskine in tow down into corner number 1. Gives him a tap on the bumper. Looks like some Talladega racing there as he shoves them into the corner, and it works as they're 1 and 2 now into 3.
Whatever you do, don't lift. DeBoer out in front. Nick Erskine up into second. Look at Ryan Hiller up on the outside in that pretty-looking 21H machine. He'll take over the 3rd spot.
Eric York, I thought he was going to make some contact there with Tyler LaFantasy. They may have touched just a little going into 1. It's 3 wide with them right now, battling for the 4th spot as they go into corner number 3.
Newell in the number 2 is just nowhere to go. He's got to choose which lane he thinks is going to go. Looks like the outside is the place to be. They're able to keep them wound up. DeBoer leading the way. Nick Erskine took a look to the inside and 1, then tucked back in line in the 2nd spot. But here comes one of the hot shoes in mini stock racing, Tyler LaFantasy, as we got them bouncing off each other a little further back. Oh, baby.
Hold on it. Stay green as Tim Newell gets back on track in the 26 after his excursion through the rough stuff up in 3 and 4. Now Eric York, who was running at the front, got off the track up in 1 and 2, and he'll gather things up towards the back.
Don't think Newell realizes he's got a flat right front tire.
That'll do it. He probably has figured it out now. He's just not able to get that car back under speed. And now he'll get the black flag from Kyle McKenzie. Top 3 right now at it. Here comes Tyler LaFantasy down to the inside of Nick Erskine. They'll go door to door chasing Dusty DeBoer into corner number 1.
DeBoer running a beautiful line out there in the 23, just very smooth in the early stages of this race. LaFantasy caught up, but you can see how hard it is to make a pass on the inside as we're 8 laps down, 7 laps to go.
Tim Sonato, number 23, out in front. Dusty DeBoer, LaFantasy, and Nick Erskine having a great side-by-side battle, and no matter where Nick Erskine finishes, the race he's having with this veteran and Tyler LaFantasy is really proving that he knows how to get it done here.
Yeah, he's definitely earning his stripes here tonight, having a great race out there, and he's not done yet. LaFantasy edges out to the inside, but Erskine is really fast through 1 and 2.
Leaders about to catch some fairly heavy traffic. The back of the pack coming up on them very quickly. Dusty DeBoer, the leader. Erskine and LaFantasy remain side by side. It's 5 laps left to go. I think things are just about to heat up.
LaFantasy tried to clear Erskine up at turn number 2. They made a little bit of contact. It kind of slowed down the momentum of LaFantasy, but now with another chance to wind up and take a run, looks to the inside. DeBoer going to squeeze through the middle of the lap traffic.
Here they come. 4 laps left to go. LaFantasy gets by 1 on the inside. They're door to door for the lead down into corner number 1.
Right in front of the leaders. Oh, no.
Oh, Dusty DeBoer gets into the 5 machine of Joey Wilcox, and that will put us under the caution flag. Now, how heavy is the damage on the right front of the 23 of Dusty DeBoer?
Man, how much have you missed feature racing here at Ohsweken Speedway?
Fantastic action at the front throughout the pack.
That is a durable front bumper for DeBoer. That was not a graze. He
No.
hit. Let's have a look at the replay on GeForce TV.
And the chunk that comes off is actually off of DeBoer's car, I believe, because he is missing part of that right front.
Great work by our camera operators on both sides of the track tonight.
DeBoer is lucky he did not get piled into from behind. If you watch the car that came up behind him, he almost got rear-ended there as well. Let's have another look at this as they go down into one. Man, he's just humming down there into the corner. Boom. And whoa, the 62 almost cleaned the trunk off of the 23. Lyle White came in there hot and heavy. Wilcox has a right rear flat. He'll get pushed around and head to the pit area. 4 laps left to go, and I'm disappointed because they were headed into some pretty thick traffic that I think would have really made things interesting in the closing laps, and it still may be. I think the way they've been racing here, it's far from over, but the lap traffic just makes it that much more entertaining.
You can't ask for much more out of one of these races than that. A little bit of traffic, a little bit of excitement. Clinton Jeffrey, what are you seeing?
Well, I've got a piece here off the DeBoer right front, and it's just a little bit of the lower skirt. I don't think it's going to be too much of an issue for these guys. It doesn't look like the fender's pushed up into the right front, so we'll see how it works out for Dusty. But tough break for our leader. As you can see, the body work I got from his car right here in the buggy.
When are you going to let Jack drive?
Sorry, Doug said something here. What'd you say?
When are you going to let Jack drive?
I tried to let Gary drive earlier, and we were going like molasses out here.
Got to be hammered down.
He just gave me the dirtiest look ever.
Green flag back in the air. 4 laps left to go. LaFantasy to the inside of DeBoer. The battle for the lead.
He timed that perfectly. Great move by Tyler LaFantasy. Gets a run down to the inside of Dusty DeBoer. Here comes Nick Erskine, and Jeremy Hughes now has worked his way up to 4th.
The leader's in turn 3, and the last car just came by. Oh my goodness.
Wow. Wow, sorry there, Adam, but that was hair-raising there for a moment as now Tim Newell bouncing around in front of the leaders. Not sure why he was able to come out onto the track right there in front of them. Well, I guess it's the lap traffic I was looking for.
Yeah, you got your wish. Erskine gets squirrely there. The other Newell in the number 2 working his way to the inside of Erskine with 2 laps to go. LaFantasy takes the lead.
So LaFantasy leads. Matt Newell now down to the inside of Dusty DeBoer. They'll go door to door down the backstretch.
Down into 3 and 4. It'll be white flag in the air. 1 more lap to go.
Nick Erskine's going to get boxed in, and if I'm the leaders, I'm not happy about this.
No, that it's a long season. You remember the inconveniences night after night as Nick Erskine giving a bump to DeBoer. 1 more time through 3 and 4 for LaFantasy. Can he take the checker? Look at the run for Newell to the inside.
Here they come off the corner. Tyler LaFantasy's going to pick up the win. Newell 2nd, Hughes 3rd, DeBoer 4th, and Nick Erskine 5th.
So, to answer your question, Greg, there is no stop and go official that I know of up in turn 3. So if you've got a head of steam, you're able to rejoin the track. But I think most people, when they rejoin, go around the flat of 3 and 4 to kind of get an idea of what you're pulling in on.
We need a Junior French like in Brighton. Junior, take care of that. Shout out to Adam Turner, who's watching us tonight. So good to hear us again. And Adam, I'm sure watching. Did you see the shots of his little villa he's got built on his back deck? Like, we're talking a full-out, beautiful layout that he's got going there.
I'm going to have to creep him on Facebook.
Oh, I was jealous when I saw that. I want that in my backyard.
Quick Wick Victory Lane. And the first person to occupy that piece of real estate this season, the 96 of Tyler LaFantasy. Matt Newell finishing 2nd. Jeremy Hughes rounding out the top 3. He will pull in that unlettered 10J in behind LaFantasy.
Look how much that caution changed things, because 2 of those drivers were really not in the mix for the win right up until that caution flag, and everything jumbled around as Tyler LaFantasy gets out of the car down a quick fire starter victory lane. Let's send it down to Clinton Jeffrey.
Well, how about it, ladies and gentlemen? Tyler LaFantasy finally gets back here to victory lane. He'll be the first one to grace our brand new quick victory lane. Let him know you appreciate it, Ohsweken. We got feature races in the books tonight. had to run back and get his trophy. Tyler, congratulations. Here's your trophy. Hey man, welcome back to Ohsweken Speedway. Is this going to be your plan for the year, or are you just get some extra laps in tonight?
The hope is to run here as much as I can. It all depends on work schedule plays out, but so far it looks like I can probably come most weeks, so see how that goes.
Let's talk about the situation there. Lap car came unflagged out in front of you guys. Trevor got into, Dusty got into a guy here when he's leading. A bit of craziness for the leaders tonight.
Yeah, the lap cars are a little crazy tonight. Just tried to figure out where they were going and use it to my advantage.
Right on, Tyler gets it done here tonight. We get over here and talk to Mr. Newell. A former champ, Matt Newell, back here. Matt, welcome back. This is a pretty good start to your 2022 season. You were the 2018 champ.
Yeah, it's a great start to the season. I'd like to thank my sponsors, Diamond Graphics, LA Tuesdays, Northern Performance. New car. Well, new old car. My dad wrecked this a few years ago. I did a lot of work getting it back together, but yeah, it's nice to be here in a car I built.
There you have it. Matt Newell finished second. We'll get over here and talk to third place, Jeremy Hughes. Another driver back. Jeremy, you had a lot of success in mini stocks, went up to sprint cars, came back to have more fun here in the four bangers. A solid run for you to return to the four cylinders.
Yeah, it was a good run. We had to start 11, so we had to come through the pack pretty good, but car's good. It's the first time we've had this car actually make a race. We've been to Maryville 4 times. It hasn't finished a feature. We had some engine issues, so this is awesome.
Congrats, there he is. Jeremy Hughes will finish third. Matt Newell will be second. And your winner, Tyler Fonacy, here tonight. We'll be right back live on GeForce TV.
Early man discovered fire, but Quick perfected fire. Quick is the only fire starter that guarantees to start your campfire, wood stove, or fireplace without the need for kindling or paper. Find your nearest Quick retailer at quickquick.com.
I've always had this spirit that I wanted to invent something new, and so when we got into clothing, I got immersed into it, and the only way that you would really understand how to build clothing is to become a pattern maker. That pattern maker concept started becoming very interesting to me because I went, I can make this better. Love it. Absolutely love designing. Doesn't matter whether it's a garment or an engine or a car, decals on our race cars. I love doing that. That's my forte.
Back live at Ohsweken Speedway for Friday Night Excitement, brought to you by Friday Night Thunder. Catch it on APTN. Season 1 episode still showing. Season 2 coming soon. We're ready for our second feature of the night. Strickland, Brantford Chevrolet Crate Sprint Car Division. Feature event, 20 laps the distance for our crate sprints. Adam Ross has the starting lineup.
Here's how they're going to line up. On the pole out of St. Thomas, and the number 4 is Jesse Costa. Outside the front row from Woodstock, 29W is Tyler Ward. Row 2 on the inside, a couple of drivers that have been racing together since they were little kids in go-karts. On the inside in the 12 Double D from Freelton, it's Darren Dryden. Alongside him from Brantford, the 49L is Lucas Smith. Starting 5th from Chelmsford, the 7 is Eric Gledhill. Starting 6th from Ohsweken, the 99 is Joshua Hill. Starting 7th in the 3S at Mosley is Austin Rose. Starting 8th from Waynefleet, the BS 39 is Brett Stratford. Row number 5 has Alan Downey on the inside at a Waterloo in the 19D, and on the outside from Rockwood, the 94 is Ryan Fraser. Starting 11th from Chelmsford, the 45 is Curtis Gartley. Starting 12th from Ancaster, the 51 is Trevor Young. Starting 13th in the 48 from Port Perry, it's Daryl Peltier. Starting 14th from Kitchener, the 2 is Travis Hofstetter. Starting 15th from Six Nations, the 20 is the Iceman, Johnny Miller. Alongside him from Rockwood, the 74 is Rob Neely. Starting 17th from Georgetown, the 2M is Steve Murdoch. Starting 18th from Brantford, the 88 is Lance Erskine. Starting 19th from Ohsweken, the 77E is Ashton Van Every. Starting 20th from Chelmsford, the 14 is Larry Gledhill. 21st from Ancaster, the 26X is Terry Baker. 22nd from Ohsweken, the 28 is Jordan Hill. Starting 23rd from Ohsweken, the 77T is Tyler Pala. Starting 24th from Six Nations, the MK8 is Matthew Hill. We really starting 28 cars, Greg?
For real.
There you go. Starting 25th from Hagersville, the 14T is Noel Teal. Starting 26th from Dorchester, the 48 is Andrew Marshall. Starting 27th in the 5D from Port Colborne is Seth Roy. And starting 28th on the outside of row 14 from Ridgeway, 85C is Cam McKinnon. How many do we start at the Nationals? Do we ever go above 24 cars?
Not that I recall, no. And I think that's why they cut the B-main short, is they decided they'd had enough cars to fill the spot. So I think it definitely was more than 6 tonight. So.
Rick Scott parked on the inside of the front straightaway in the Ohsweken Speedway official pace truck from Strickland's GMC in Brantford. You know, during the pandemic, we made a lot of great friends. You know, people that we had known before, but we got to spend some time online doing some sim racing, some iRacing. A lot of people from here at the racetrack got involved in that. We really have to give a shout out to someone who put a lot of time and effort. As my phone just died, Roger Craig formed some leagues on iRacing to keep people occupied and entertained, and my goodness, it's a juggernaut now of iRacing leagues that Roger Craig runs. I just happened to open my phone. I hadn't looked at it for a while. I've got a lot of messages there. So hopefully there'll be some updates on different things happening in the pit area. Jordan Hill in the 28, rolling slowly around the outside of turn number 2, allowing the field to go by. He will start near the tail end of the group.
Field taking shape behind the Strickland's GMC pace truck. Rick Scott back behind the wheel. I know he's pumped and ready to go.
There are 28 sprint cars on the racetrack. Wee doggy.
I mean, if you're going to do it, this is the track to do it.
Oh, yeah.
Lots of room. This time by, we should see the white flag from Kyle McKenzie.
Yeah, he gave the 2 to go signal last time. Greg, I'm going to go way out on a limb and say lap traffic is going to be a factor in this one.
And quick.
Yes, sir.
White flag goes up. Jesse Costa, Tyler Ward on the front row. Darren Dryden, Lucas Smith back there in row number 2.
I know the front row is impressive, Greg, but row number 2, that's a couple of hard-charging young racers.
Yeah, hungry drivers, both with experience in victory lane as well. Kyle McKenzie with double greens in hand, ready to go. Bring him to life. 20 laps of distance for the Strickland Brantford Chevrolet Crate Sprint feature.
Good start for Jesse Costa. Breaks out all by himself at the front of the field. Darren Dryden up to the second spot. Lucas Smith just took third away from Tyler Ward. They're 3 wide down the front stretch.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you right now, don't watch the back half of this race or you're going to be oohing and awing, because there is some close calls throughout the pack right now. The racing, some speed differentials that just raises the hair on the back of your neck. Meanwhile, at the front, the battle is for the lead. Darren Dryden digging in on Jesse Costa. He'll get down to the inside off of corner number 2.
Costa bobbled just a little bit in turn 2. That allows Darren Dryden to go by. He'll hug the inside wall through 3 and 4. Darren Dryden leads the way.
3 on the board. Darren Dryden in that 3M. Number 12, DD out in front over the Oakwood Transport. Number 4 of Jesse Costa. Lucas Smith settled into 3rd. Eric Gledhill running in the 4th spot. And Austin Rose right there in the top 5.
I've spent a lot of time looking at the middle of this field towards the back. Tyler Ward is dropping through the field. He is really struggling with the handle on that 29W, but there's a couple of drivers moving forward. Trevor Young holding his own in that white and blue number 51.
Brett Stratford not having quite the success he had in his qualifying heat, fighting that car down to the inside line. Now, as I say that, he's working to catch the back end of the Murdoch number 2.
Driver who's going to do well in this one's going to have to be decisive and aggressive in lap traffic as Lucas Smith goes by Jesse Costa to take over the 2nd spot. Darren Dryden works to the outside of the slower traffic. He leads the way, but Lucas Smith is coming.
I'm surprised that it took that many laps. Oh, we got one around now at the back of the pack, and that will bring out the caution flag. Eric Gledhill with a close call there, and Andrew Marshall goes around to the 48 to put us under the caution.
What a great job by these drivers, some of whom haven't raced for almost 3 years. Now, most of them did. Most of them followed the Action Sprint Tour, but not everybody, Greg.
Darren Dryden, that's how close he came.
Holy moly, looking at the replay, I did not realize how close that was for Andrew Marshall in the 48 in the right rear of Darren Dryden. This restart is going to be insane.
Watch this replay again. Dryden just smoking into the corner, and he's like, oh, gotta make a left quick.
Oh boy. Thankfully, nobody was right in the tire tracks of Dryden, like blinded to what was coming there. We're going to restart this race single file, and these cars are going to be strung out. But when Darren Dryden hits the throttle for this restart, the last car is still going to be in turn number 2. Dryden leads the way over Lucas Smith in the 49L. Jesse Costa is 3rd in the number 4. Eric Gledhill is 4th in the number 7. Then it's Austin Rose 5th in the number 3. 6th through 10th, the 19 is Alan Downey. 45 of Curtis Gartley. 2M of Steve Murdoch. BS 39 is Brett Stratford. Who's in the other 2?
Travis Hofstetter.
Yeah, sorry about that. Travis Hofstetter in the Cal Tire number 2.
Now, the thing that surprised me is we got 7 laps before the leaders did hit the lap traffic. I honestly thought it was going to come maybe a lap or 2 sooner. That's a testament to how solid this field has been.
And Clinton, quick note, we're going to need a bit of rope or chain or fastener to keep the gate closed at the front straightaway. Thank you to the fan who just went down and secured it.
Yeah, Adam, I just called the maintenance crew. We'll get this one fixed in about 2 laps.
For sure. And the fence won't open so far that it's in the way of the cars. Like, even if you're running right against the wall, you wouldn't hit that fence opening, but we definitely want to keep that shut. So Darren Dryden, halfway down the backstretch, our last place car of Andrew Marshall. They are tightening up the best they can. Marshall in between 1 and 2. Just at the exit of turn number 2 as Darren Dryden jumps on the throttle. They accordion the field all the way to the back. We're back under green.
That was an interesting start there off of 4. They all had to get back single file past the cone. They managed to do it somehow as they come off the corner. Darren Dryden will lead the lap over Lucas Smith. Jesse Costa in a great battle between Austin Rose and Eric Gledhill.
Wow, Hill in the 99 way to the inside of a turn number 4. Not sure how he wound up down there, but he was still hard on the throttle as Darren Dryden opens up about half a straightaway over Lucas Smith.
So Dryden pulling away from Smith. Costa right now working to catch back up to Lucas Smith.
Trouble.
Oh, hard contact down there in corner number 4, right in front of the leaders.
I believe one of those cars is Noel Teal. The other might be Andrew Marshall or Cam McKinnon.
I think it's Cam McKinnon and Andrew Marshall, guys.
Oh, stop. You're both right.
Yeah, so McKinnon, Marshall, and Teal with problems here. And I don't see a lot of damage other than to the McKinnon car, guys. Everybody else looks to be okay.
Yeah, McKinnon piled in there pretty hard. The way he hit Noel Teal, I think it might shove in the tail tank a bit, Clinton, but I wouldn't imagine there's much damage to the 14.
I got to show you guys. I don't know if Spencer can pick this up, but right here, this whole side has been knocked off the car. These bars down here have been pushed up, and he actually got hit in the arm. They're checking out his hands to make sure he's all right, but it did take a good shot to the side there, Adam, and pretty rare we see something coming. It just shows you the lack of protection here in these cars. They are basically 4 tires, an engine, a seat, and a steering wheel, and you can see it's bent over all his the in-out box for the rear end and all kinds of problems here for Cam McKinnon. Not his start to his crate that he wanted for sure, guys.
And that's kind of what I was watching as those cars came to a rest. I couldn't remember which car got hit, but I saw the awkward bounce there, and I knew it hit somewhere on a driver's compartment. And at first I thought it was Marshall, but yeah, McKinnon there takes the shot, and I'm not sure if we'll catch a replay or not of that one. But
the best safety crew in the business out there tending to the driver. And folks, Cam McKinnon has stepped out of his race car. How about a round of applause for Cam McKinnon? Very gingerly holding that right arm.
I want to say it was a rear end of one of the cars that bounced up in there and hit the side of the car. So Noelle Teal, looks like she's ready to be pushed off, although she's missing the Nerf bar on the back.
Yeah, I don't know if you can push a sprint car off by the tail tank.
Now,
they're going to pick that car up from the front end, I guess, because there's nothing to pick it up from at the back end.
Well, if the Teal crowd is listening back there, she's going to need a rear tank bumper. We cannot push the car off to even get the 14 started. She will get her 2 minutes in the work area, but because we can't even push it without damaging and possibly puncturing the fuel cell, there's no other way around it, guys. I don't know if you're getting that imagery, but there's nothing left on the back end of this car. You can see, and this could be very dangerous. One more shot to there, one more punch. Could be all over for Noelle Teal, so they're going to have to take this one back and take her 2 minutes. They're still working with Cam McKinnon, who has gotten out of his car and walked away on his own power, which is a good sign, guys. And while we're down here, how about this track? It came in beautifully with the work they did in intermission, starting to build up a bit of a ridge now, but I think it'll be all right throughout the rest of the evening, guys. That's all from trackside.
It's a thorough report down there.
Had a lot to say since 2019.
No kidding. So you'll see Noelle Teal with no back bumper on that car as she goes down the front straightaway. She's still strapped in with all the gear on. Soon as they picked up the front end, she moved the steering wheel left and right, make sure everything felt the way it's supposed to feel. And as long as they have the spare back there, Clinton, they should be able to throw a back bumper on.
So she'll get some time in the work area. And that will keep us under the caution flag for a little bit longer.
For those watching online, we're going to take a quick break from Ohsweken Speedway.
Early man discovered fire, but Quick perfected fire. Quick is the only fire starter that guarantees to start your campfire, wood stove, or fireplace without the need for kindling or paper. Find your nearest Quick retailer at quickwick.com.
Back live at Ohsweken Speedway, there we see Cam McKinnon's number 85C getting hoisted back to the pit area. And medical crew taking a look at him. He was favoring that right arm, and as we see his car go by, you can see clear through the driver's cockpit, and that's from the contact that he received on that panel that broke away. Rough start for Cam McKinnon after having put the car up on the blocks during the test and tune, and now it's got some damage there on the right side, and we hope Cam's all right.
This sport will test your mettle time and time again. But the highs are so high that you endure a lot of lows.
.30 seconds so far in on Noel Teal's 2 minutes in the work area.
Where is the work area now?
It's over in the pit somewhere.
Thank you, Greg. That astute observation.
At one time we had a camera over there, but
I'm sure we will by next week probably.
Where's the telestrator I heard so much about? I didn't promise it, Spencer. I'm just asking, where's our telestrator?
I was told there would be doodling. I want my broadcast quality Etch-a-Sketch, and I want it now. Really, all I would do is draw mustaches on everybody.
Especially Clint when he's doing the track report.
Let's have a look at this replay. Here's Clinton Jeffrio. You just put different fancy mustaches on them. Maybe some big chops. Elvis is trackside tonight. It's all shook up.
Yeah, this is how we kill 2 minutes in the work area. High quality entertainment.
We did the opening round of the APC series at Sunset. Clinton was so relaxed he was singing during the broadcast. Can't remember what he was singing. He started the song, he might as well finish
it. We were at the NASCAR race and someone was knocking on the back door and I started singing, I can hear you knocking.
There you go.
That's what makes for long rain delays when we're stuck out there.
Yeah, but this is the Clint we want, is the relaxed Clinton Jeffrey. We can have fun on a race night. What a great crowd. Thanks again to the crowd that's showing up here tonight for a delayed opening night at Ohsweken Speedway. We hope you're enjoying yourselves as much as we are.
Yeah, on behalf of all staff, management, Steyer's family, we are super happy you're all joining us here, and it's race season officially.
Set to get back to the green flag. Darren Dryden, Lucas Smith, and Jesse Costa, the top three. Not see Noel Teal.
Lucas Smith had hung back a little bit, made a gap there as Darren Dryden just crawls through turn number 4. Jumps out to a nice start as we restart this event with 11 laps to go.
Jesse Costa fires it around the outside, moves into the second spot. Now he'll work that outside line to try and track down the leader. Dryden got a little bit of sideways off of corner 4 there. That closes the gap.
I'll tell you, Jesse Costa learned something on that restart. Big sweeping turns, keeping that number 4 wound up. He'll go to the outside once again in 3 and 4 with Darren Dryden chomping at the inside groove.
11 laps on the board, now 9 laps left to go. Darren Dryden, Jesse Costa duking it out at the front. Lucas Smith third, then it's Eric Gledhill. Austin Rose just burned it off the corner in number 2, and he'll lose ground to Curtis Gartley in the top 5 drivers.
Jesse Costa taking the long way around, but it's paying off with a good run of steam off of turn number 4. He'll look to the outside on the back straightaway.
Coming with a head of steam, that Oakwood Transport number 4. Here he comes, lap traffic already a factor in front of these two. Here comes Costa. Which lane will he choose? He'll have to stay tucked in behind Marshall. Now we'll go to the outside. He's going to get pinched off. Marshall spins around.
Wow.
Costa stays going, and the caution flag comes out.
Jesse Costa just had a slow motion look through the 48 of Andrew Marshall. Costa committed to the outside, and he followed through. He stayed up there, but did a beautiful job of not wrecking that number 4.
And Andrew Marshall, I think, is being told he's done for the night because that is his third involvement.
Yeah, the 3-strike rule here at Ohsweken, and I think it's a quality rule. He got some great seat time tonight, learned a little bit about that race car, found where his limits are. We talked about Tyler Ward earlier on, and I don't want to pick on Tyler Ward. I want to show how vastly a driver can improve given some seat time and learning what the racetrack goes through over the course of a night.
7 laps left to go in this one. Darren Dryden, Jesse Costa, 1 and 2. And the fact that Jesse was able to keep that car rolling, not lose his spot, not get collected in that.
His move to the outside took about 4 laps to build, right? It's that momentum. It's knowing exactly where to put that car to get the most speed off the corner. And I think we were about to see him make a move on Darren Dryden. Dryden's been very smooth at the bottom of the racetrack, but that's one of the problems being a race leader on a dirt track. If you don't search around the track a little bit, you don't know what the people behind you are doing.
2 things I noticed. One is Brett Stratford, who I thought was struggling a bit at the start of this feature. He's worked his way up to the 6th spot, knocking on the door of a top 5. And the other thing, starting to see a few of these top wings change their pitch and position as some drivers working with it. I know Joshua Hill was one of them that I know has really got that car pitched up, trying to get some traction out there.
Holly Porter always has the steepest pitch to her top wing. And that reminds me, looking at Johnny Miller's number 20, reminds me of a Holly Porter top wing. That thing's digging.
Going back to the green flag with 7 laps left to go. Darren Dryden will get on the loud pedal, send it down into corner number 1 with Jesse Costa. Got a much better restart that time.
Costa to the outside off of turn number 2. Darren Dryden will beat him off the corner, but Costa's right there on the tail tank.
Costa continues to work that outside line, trying to build up the momentum and get the run on Dryden. He'll come down the front stretch, had to lift just a little bit. Darren Dryden didn't give him any room on the front stretch.
And I think he knew enough not to carve to the inside, not to make that move prematurely. He wants his pass to be a surprise to Darren Dryden.
Oh, he got sideways and the car twitched and broke around a little bit. And that was enough to lose some ground, but now he'll build that back up in corner number 2. That car just not planting off the corner like it was before.
I almost think a bit of a gap is better for Jesse Costa. He needs to take a big sweeping turn around the outside of the 12, and not being right up on the back bumper could be an advantage for him.
4 laps left to go as they work down the back stretch, and lap traffic once again I think is going to play into this one. Noelle TL did rejoin the field there in that number 14 machine. She's the first car in sight of the leaders.
And that might be the only hope for Jesse Costa. That outside groove wasn't working, so he went even higher to the outside in 1 and 2.
Down through 3 and 4. Leader Darren Dryden to the inside of Teal. 2 laps left to go. If Jesse Costa has anything for the leader, I think it's time to giddy up and go. He'll go up high in corner number 2 and try and work it down the banking, but he's got a lap car between he and the leader.
Costa's got a big run down the back straightaway, but he has to go to the inside groove to try to work traffic. Darren Dryden with 2 cars between himself and Costa in second.
One more trip around for Darren Dryden. Oh, I think he bobbled just a little bit there on one, but Jesse Costa having problems of his own getting off of corner number 2. Mired thick in traffic. Lucas Smith will try and work on him for second.
It's going to be Darren Dryden taking the win on opening night at Ohsweken. Jesse Costa second, Lucas Smith third. Gledhill, I believe, in fourth, and Curtis Gartley fifth, with Brett Stratford, Steve Murdoch, Alan Downey, Ryan Fraser, Joshua Hill. Great night of racing. For the Strickland's GMC Crate Sprints.
Darren Dryden, first time to victory lane here at Ohsweken Speedway, had a win last year. I believe he was the winner at Southern Ontario Motor Speedway last year. The Action Sprint Tour.
He was close at a bunch of places.
Beautiful looking machine, and that 3M DJD Graphics, number 12, DD. Jesse Costa comes home second, and Lucas Smith third. Great run for Eric Gledhill fourth, and Curtis Gartley crosses the line in fifth. Brett Stratford sixth, Steve Murdoch seventh. Eighth was Alan Downey, ninth Ryan Fraser, and 10th Travis Hofstetter. As Darren Dryden unbuckles, fireworks lighting up the sky. Here comes Darren Dryden to celebrate down in Quick Wick Fire Starter Victory Lane.
Well, guys, he's out of the car. He'll work on getting the helmet off and get over here to talk to us. Darren will get the flag out. How about the wing dance, folks? Here comes your first Strickland Crate 602 feature winner of the year, Darren Dryden.
Man, he showed up tonight to sign in Clinton. He was looking sharp with a fancy new suit. The car always looks fantastic. He was just beaming tonight. There was a look on his face, some confidence there, and he backed it up with a great drive. Take it away, Clinton Jeffrey.
Well, Darren, Adam Ross is remarking how you always come polished and ready to go, and when your stuff looks this sharp and tight, you're pretty much ready with the setup too. What a great way to start the 2022 season. It's a deal you come into in the past couple years. You got to feel really good about how your program is developing for you.
Yeah, honestly, I'm pretty speechless. This is crazy. I gotta thank Steve Gary for all the work he does. It's just incredible. Like, the amount of work they've been putting on this whole offseason to make sure that I got the best of the best, and honestly, we kind of proved it tonight. So that was refreshing.
Did you get many notices that Jesse was there?
Honestly, I didn't see anybody that whole time, but I did see that wall that last lap. I don't know if anybody caught that on camera, but I thought I was ripping that left front right off.
No, you ripped it right to victory lane. Darren Dryden gets it done. We'll get over here and talk to Jesse Costa. Jesse, I've seen you hurt your back twice on a track like that, and then you took the hop down in 3. You had us all worried, but the car was lightning fast tonight. This Bar Motorsports car was on rails.
Yeah, it was quick. I don't know what happened at the start there. I don't know how to log a couple laps and get the car underneath me, but I think we had something for him, but I think we bounced it off the curb pretty bad, and we got the right rear shaking pretty bad, and couldn't do anything after that. But I got to thank Steve, Darren, Bob, Barr, putting me in the car. It's a privilege. I got to thank Oakwood Transport for all their support, Larry, Eric, and all them. They're much appreciated. Wells Foundry, Nathan Ackland Insurance, DNO Towing, Welders Millwrights, Fairbanks Auto Body, Creative Edge, Butler Built, APC, Welders Millwrights. I got to thank my wife at home, my parents, and that's about it.
He got it all in. Great start to the season for Jesse Costa. Get over here and talk to Lucas Smith. Lucas, a great run for you. A third place is something to be proud of to start the year. Going to put you in a great point standings going into week number 2.
Yeah, I came into the season not really knowing if I was going to race or not, and I'm really glad that we decided to do that.
I guess the decision's made now, right? You're staying?
Yeah, I guess it is, eh?
There you have it. Lucas Smith, ladies and gentlemen, will finish third. Jesse Costa will run across in second. And your winner here tonight, Darren Dryden, the 12 Double D. How about a hand for all your Strickland 602 crate competitors? We'll be right back with a live break here on G-Force TV.
So who exactly is Fast Eddie? More than just a man, it's the mindset that runs through our blood like oil through an engine. Whether on the track or on the street, Fast Eddie is the spirit that drives us to go fast and keep going. Born in 1949 with no time to look in the rearview mirror. Every story is worth telling, and every piece of Fast Eddie apparel has its own. Celebrate our mindset. This is Fast Eddie. This is combustion culture. FastEddieSpeedwear.com.
Early man discovered fire, but Quick perfected fire. Quick is the only fire starter that guarantees to start your campfire, wood stove, or fireplace without the need for kindling or paper. Find your nearest Quick retailer at quickquick.com.
Back live at Ohsweken Speedway, getting ready for the Middleport Mechanical Thunderstocks with their first feature of the year. 20 laps will be the distance, and Adam Ross has the starting lineup.
On the pole out of Hagersville, it's Brewster Baker in the 49. Dave Bailey alongside him from Victoria, the 84 RK is Ryan Beagle. Starting third from Canfield, the 32 is Mark Fawcett, and starting fourth out of Ohsweken, the 24 is Blake Bomberry Jr. Starting fifth from Hagersville, the 23 is Trevor DeBoer. Starting sixth from Guelph, the 79 is Christopher Hale. Starting seventh from Hagersville, the 3 is Devin Bacher. Starting eighth from Caister Center, the 41 is Adam Plazik. Starting ninth from Harley, the 37 is Robert Hoskins. Starting 10th from Caister Center, the 28 is Jim Lampman. 11th will be the 19 from Ancaster of Kyle Wirt, and 12th from Merlin, the 96 is Steve Shaw Sr. 13th from Burlington, the 97 is Ron Logie. 14th out of Caledonia, the 55 is Mike Thorne. 15th from Port Colborne, the 11R is Bryce Richardson. 16th from Caister Center, the 28D is Donnie Lampman. 17th from Brantford, the 13 is Casey Huffman. 18th from Corbyville, the 2M is Mark McDonald. Starting 19th from Hagersville, the 93K is Mike Klazinga. Starting 20th from Thorold, the 11 is Go Fast Teeple. Starting 21st from Hagersville, the 93 is Melissa Miller. Starting 22nd from Hamilton, the 25 is Ken Sargent. 23rd from Hamilton, the 43 is Kyle Andrus. 24th from Ohsweken, the 38 is Frank Turkey. 25th from Hagersville, the 75 is Ryan Berry. 26th from Simcoe, the 8 is Aiden Nye. 27th from Ohsweken, the 21 is Blake Bomberry Sr. 28th from Niagara Falls, the 19T is Trevor Want. 29th from Ohsweken, the 48 is Braden King. 30th from Minbrook, the 427 is Tim Phelan. And rounding out the field on the inside of row number 16 from Jerseyville, 53 is Logan Schwedick. That's how they'll line up for this first Middleport Mechanical Thunderstock feature event of the season. Clinton Jeffrey going to join me on the call for this one.
So many people love this division, Adam. It never fails to put on some fantastic action, and we're great to have them all here tonight with us. Wow, they look fantastic under the lights.
They do so. Green flag about to fly for Dave Bailey and the big dog, Ryan Beagle.
Well, it's anybody's track here tonight. Still a bit of cushion on the top. It's black through the middle like Beagle likes. Let's see what happens. Heads up start here tonight as it's the first night. They drew for their starting position, and where they qualified is where they race. No redraws for these guys, and it's Baker leading them for the first time.
Dave Bailey out in front, running the bottom of the racetrack. Ryan Beagle second, Fawcett third, DeBoer fourth, and Blake Bomberry Jr. rounds out the top five to end lap number one. But Chris Hale looking to the outside, and that's 79.
Yeah, Hale looking really racy up on the outside of that purple people eater of Blake Bomberry in that Nitro 54. Man, that thing just smells so pretty. Oh, we got some debris up in turn 4. Just looks like a bit of sheet metal. Nothing that we should have to stop this race for, but yeah, definitely some sheet metal at the bottom of 4.
Phelan in the 427 gets half sideways off of turn 4, gathers it in, but loses some ground. Dave Bailey continues to lead the way, hugging the bottom of the racetrack. The first car really working the high side is Chris Hale in that beautiful 79 machine.
And there is a lot still up on the top to be used. Bailey has shown us he can find any way to get around here and make it work. Ryan Beagle, always a great runner here in that RK Automotive number 84.
Beagle losing some ground to Dave Bailey right now. Bailey's going to encounter some lap traffic, but it'll just be one car for now, the Phelan 427, that'll probably close in on in a lap or two. It'll take him a few more laps to work up. Problem for Kenny Sargent in the 25. He is way off the pace for what we're used to seeing. He's going to take that car pit side.
Yeah, tough break there for the Sarge. Multi-time veteran feature winner here. Not a great start. He's going to start the season and last in points by the looks of it.
Bailey to the outside of Phelan to put the first car one lap down. They're 5 wide out of turn number 2. Logan Schwedick on the inside. Bryce Richardson, Casey Huffman, Jim Lampman, and Mike Plazinga.
I thought sure Adam's just over spouting off. Oh wow, they are 5 wide. No needed added drama here invested by us, that's for sure.
It took so long to say it that they were strung out by the time it was done, but they had fanned out 5 wide, and those are 5 really good Thunderstock racers, Clinton, that capable of racing that close together.
Yeah, I mean, the Thunderstocks are amazing everywhere you go. Every track has its own standouts, and when we bring them together, they all battle so well and evenly. It's just a great division here with the Ontario Dirt Competition Committee, keeping everybody on one set of rules across the entire province of dirt.
Chris Hale working the outside of DeBoer in the 23. They are just behind the Fawcett 32. That is 3rd, 4th, and 5th ahead of them. Ryan Beagle all by himself in the 2nd spot, and way out front is Dave Bailey in the 49.
Bailey going to be lacking at lapped cars here before too long. He'll have to find his way around those drivers, but Beagle is still a long way back. And Bailey off to a fantastic start as the yellow comes out.
Blake Bomberry Jr. in the 24, as I believe the car put around backwards in turn 2. And Blake was saying before the races tonight, Clinton, he hopes to have the 3rd car complete fairly soon, and there will be 3 generations of Bomberry racing here at the track.
That's super cool.
I love that stuff.
It's hard to believe the Speedway's been around long enough to have 3 generations racing here.
No kidding. No kidding. So let's give some shout-outs. Hunter Hertendi watching from Coburg.
I got one. Fran Bouchard watching from Buffalo at the bar with his laptop on.
Ha! Fran goes to bars?
Fran is a regular at one bar. We're going to have to get him on and interview him and find out where he hangs out.
I got a note from Matt Castleline. I have noticed this recently, Clinton, watching stuff on YouTube on my TV. If you ever want to be entertained a little bit more than you are by watching the races, turn on your closed captioning. It's fabulous what pops up on the screen. Going through the shout-outs and messages that we've got, but send a hello to Greg Boydell.
How about Adam Turner watching at his home bar? I don't know if Spencer's shown it online yet. It was sent to the group chat. Adam Turner's got his outdoor bar set up, and he's got G-Force on. And Adam, you said that's kind of what we're trying to do here. You know, how cool it would be if we had every Saturday racer in the province watching us hang out on Fridays while they get their own cars ready if they can't be with us. And I think the immersion rate we're working with here by getting everybody watching. We've had about 1,000 viewers all night long with us, which are going to equate to probably 20,000 people viewing by the end of the night, which is absolutely amazing that everybody wants to look in if they can't be with us.
You know, Clint, we've had so much fun the last 2 years going to every track in Ontario except here. Like, here is where we get to be 100% ourselves. I can make fun of Greg Callanan all night long. He can, well, that's nothing different, I guess. But it's just our element, right? We get to, it's like throwing a party, and we're finally able to bring people to the party house here at Ohsweken Speedway.
I think this is actually our 25th year of announcing here. I mean, we started 25 years ago, took a year and a bit off. I started about a year and a half into the history here at the Speedway, but crazy to think we've been here more than half our lives.
It's yours. Yeah, it's yours. I took some time off.
You're still here. You were with us the whole
time. No, exactly. I was all, I mean, this is where it began. Glenn Stiers is the biggest enabler I've ever met, because he has let us do.
He likes to think he's a talent scout, but
that too.
Enabler.
But he lets people do, like, he's let us do so many things that I don't know if there are many other track owners would have let us do.
Yeah, as a track manager, he let me have a meltdown all week and didn't worry about it.
Shout out to Jerry Angel, who's watching from Westburn, Manitoba with his daughter Abby.
That's
Love
super
that stuff.
cool.
Yeah, absolutely, right?
You know, that's the whole thing. All these people watch, and I'm sure when they come to Southern Ontario, if they watch us 3 weeks in a row, they're going to want to make a stop here. It's only $20 for adults, 15s for seniors and students, and kids 12 and under are free. That's my promotion for the night. Dave Bailey, Ryan Beagle, bring them back. Two of the best we got here, Adam, and Fawcett, and Hale, and DeBoer, and the list goes on, and away they go.
Down they go into turns 1 and 2. Beagle clinging to the outside of the 49 of Dave Bailey. They'll drag race down the backstretch. Bailey with the edge going into turn 3. Let's see if Chris Hale can get a run up on the high side. We're halfway through this Middleport Mechanical Thunderstock feature event.
Yeah, Beagle let Bailey slip away last start and is not going to let that happen now. We're at the halfway point here, 10 laps to go, and Ryan Beagle, the big dog, trying to slap the leash around Brewster Baker and reel him in.
Devin Bacher making moves up into the top 5 in that black number 3 machine. Nice run for Bacher. Hale in the 3rd spot, trying to clear the Fawcett 32.
Well, Bacher's a second-generation driver. His dad won a boatload of races here in Thunderstocks over the years, and good to see the second-generation Bacher go at it. Here comes Beagle, Adam. I told you, right through the black slick is where the big dog runs very well, and he's still hanging there, but Bailey's starting to squirt out a length or two.
Yeah, Bailey is just so smooth. He knows exactly where he wants that car. He puts it there every corner. Beagle got a little bit wide coming off of turn number 2, just about brushed the wall in that 84 machine. Look at that pack of cars battling for 3rd.
Quite the field going at it here. Oh, we got one around. I think that's the Phelan 427.
That's exactly who that is. Let's keep on through the messages, because I got a bunch. I'm a little bit upset with the latest message. Jesse McDonald, what the heck is he doing watching from home?
Yeah, I don't. One problem though, Adam, we do have one slow car here. The 48 is slow. It looks like there might be a problem on that machine as well, but maybe just drop into the back. Yeah, who else is watching?
Oh, that's the Action Sprint Tour chat. Anthony Dortono. Angie Birch-Ross.
Yeah.
She's not really watching. She's been to the bingo, and she just sent me a picture of a couple of brown bills. Maybe more than a couple. I think she had a good night, Clint.
She was duck hunting.
You know, I just got sent a picture here from Terry Vince, who said, man, look at the car count. Sprint cars are getting wild in Ontario. And just sent me a picture of Merrittville Speedway. Mike Bowman's 358, a champion from last year, has bought a crate sprint and getting ready to come out. And boys, it is a beauty. Watch for the Merrittville champ to join us here soon.
That'll be exciting to see. Shout out from Sean Gibbs. I don't know where he's watching from, but I promise you he has a Twisted Tea in one hand.
Probably from the driveway.
Yeah, right? Man, they got a close-knit community down there in Burlington.
How sad is it that we know how everybody watches our show?
It's, you know, it's just what we get to see, and I love it. We get some updates from different racetracks. And
how about everybody on the VIP patio? You guys having a good time up there? We haven't seen. I see a few. Wave if you're liking it up there. What a great view from turn 3 now. That, and I'm sure there's some few people over the new pool house off of turn number 2.
Blair,
I think we need a light sponsor around here. Everything's lit up like crazy.
Blair Wickett's watching from home. He says the number 97 APC late model is loaded up and ready to go. He's watching with his girlfriend, Sam.
Yeah, if you haven't got enough of this, we're going to change up the flavor a little bit tomorrow. I think we're on about 5:30 is the APC race live on GeForce TV from Flamborough.
I spoke with Miles Hill 100 years ago. He just texted me to say he's watching from Panama.
Wow, that's awesome.
I think it's cool that he still has my number.
Panama. Oh, I'm not supposed to sing anymore, right? Sorry, Greg. I'm relaxed now if you hadn't figured that out, guys, after 7 days of heck. Here we go, back to it.
7 laps remain. Ryan Beagle again. Just trying to keep that fender to the right rear of Dave Bailey, pinching down a little bit. Look at Mike Lazinga. He thought about going up the middle of Chris Hale and Fawcett in the 32. Here goes Bacher to the inside.
Down the back chute they go. Back to the front, now off to turn 1. It's Bailey at the front, but here comes Beagle around the outside.
Ryan Beagle noses ahead of the 49 on the backstretch. He'll lead them down into 3 and 4. Bailey still hooking the bottom, but we could have a new leader. Contact out of 4.
Oh boy, elbows up, fenders in. Here we go. 5 on the board from Kyle McKenzie. And it's the big dog and Brewster Baker, 2 of the best here at the Big O, trying to leave with the points lead tonight.
2 of the smoothest drivers we have ever had in Thunderstocks, showing why they have won as many races as they have.
Thorn around here, the bottom of turn number 3 and 4, and that's going to bring out the yellow. Little bit of damage here on the Thorn machine. Front nose looks good. Everything looks all right.
Oh, you know what's really cool too, Clinton? Jerry Angel, I don't know if I'm saying his name right, if it's Angel or Angel. He said, thanks. My son Memphis just joined us too to watch. But he said, we were at CTMP with the big blue truck by the Canadian Tire Bridge. And I think that was some of the people, you know, when we go touring around there at CTMP and get to meet all sorts of different people in different spots. But that's been a ton of fun.
When Mike Thorne comes by, you'll see a bit of a dent in the nose of that Burger Barn 55. Looks all right, though. Nothing that's going to slow up his progress other than the fact that he'll have to restart from the back.
Dustin Anderson's at home watching. Yeah, some of these people I'm going to have to call out and say, look, get your butts to the racetrack.
Well, the biggest one I got to call out is Stacy Hill. How'd you get off work and sit at home tonight?
Dave McGrin is watching on his big screen TV in the basement.
Well, we're watching right here where you guys all should be because we're fixing to have a heck of a race here.
Quick Victory Lane is calling.
Yeah, I want to send a shout out to Dave, Frank. I know you guys talked about him earlier. John Brush is here from Corpac. I want to welcome Dennis and Pam from Mighty Wipes. A lot of people now, obviously not John Brush in that mix, but you know, Dave and Frank and Pam and Dennis, this is their first visit here. They jumped on board the Ohsweken train without ever seeing a race, and we value that trust. And hopefully they're getting their money's worth tonight because we are, as a fan. Here we go. Bailey, Beagle, Hale, Fawcett, they're all there.
And Beagle does a great job. He gets the left front down in front of the right front corner of Dave Bailey to sort of position where Bailey is able to run. Dave drives it deep into turn number 3, slides up the racetrack, but Beagle able to roll around the outside and maintain the top spot.
I thought that's where Beagle dropped it there. He went way up to the high side. Somehow he was able to get to the right door there and crowd Bailey, and they rub each other onto the back straightaway once more. Here's where it looks like Beagle's losing, but here's where it looks like he wins every lap.
A big head of steam, but he got a little bit loose there off of turn number 4. Dave Bailey leads lap number 18.
Speaking of a big head of steam, huge clouds of smoke out of the third place driver as he pulls into that position. Bacher with problems as smoke billowing out of the back of the number 3 car. Kazinga gets back around, and it's still 5, 6, 7 cars for the lead, but there's 1 lap to go.
Oh, trouble in 3 and 4. We got a few of them together. McDonald, Mike Thorne. Thorne still sitting sideways.
Yeah, Mike Thorne with heavier damage now on the 55 than he had earlier.
The pesky Penguin comes to rest in
And you can-
turns 3 and 4.
Yeah, he's got some front end damage there on that car. Sheet metal. I think he might have a tie rod or a control arm issue. I could be wrong, but we'll see what happens with Thorne there as he gets turned back around.
You spend all winter tweaking these race cars, making the finest of adjustments. And it can all change so quickly on opening night.
So the nose flapping a little bit here on the Thorne machine, and I think he's got front end trouble, Adam, as we called it there. I don't think maybe a tie rod issue. Yeah, look, it's not steering properly, and I don't think he's shaking that on his own.
No, that is an awkward. I don't even know how to describe what the front end of that car is doing, but he'll bring that down to the infield out of harm's way. And we're going to have a 2-lap dash to the finish. Single file restart for this green-white checker finish.
Yeah, inside 5 laps, we will go single file. Now, if you're Beagle, Adam, what's your plan?
Drive a little bit faster than the 49.
I thought you were going to say something even more brilliant, like just be ahead of the 49.
He's going to sling it to the outside. It's what he does. He's got 2 laps to try to make the perfect run on Dave Bailey.
Oh, went to the bottom that time. Bailey figured he'd go to the outside, tipped it to the inside a little bit. Now Beagle all the way over the backside wall. Now trying to find the low groove, looking, searching, hunting for a shot at Bailey.
Wow, great drive. Oh, Devin Bacher goes around. Gets cleaned off by Rob Hoskins. We are under yellow once again. Oh, nice work there. Devin Bacher was doing such a nice job tonight.
A bunch of debris down there. We'll see what happens. Bacher gets turned around.
Just had a quick word with one of the safety workers there. Probably asking what the car looks like.
It looks all right from what I could see.
Yeah.
Still smoking, but the body
the
looked
only
all right.
trouble is when they had the restart, there was only 3 cars in front of him.
Yeah.
Now there's a couple dozen more. But if you don't try, you don't succeed, right? Bacher shaking that car from left to right. Yeah, it looks to be reacting the way it should. We're going to send a push truck out to turn number 2. I believe that's Ron Logie on the inside in the 97, so that was a secondary mishap. Clint, we were playing around with the chairs earlier. Greg said, I wonder how far up this goes. He just about hit his head on the ceiling of the tower. I thought he was going to go through the roof. I kind of wish I'd been filming it.
Well, we patiently wait for them to clear the situation down in turn number 2. One more feature event to come. The Cool Kids Core Pack 360 Sprint Car main event still to come here tonight. Modifieds coming back next week. We won't have any sprint cars here. We have 2 divisional modifieds, the UMP modifieds, which will feature Ken Schrader, and I think Glenn Stiers will also be in a UMP car, along with all the rest of the Canadian Mod and UMP guys from Brighton and Southern Ontario Motor Speedway will be here, so that's cool. And we're even talking possibly getting Ken Schrader and Glenn's other 358 modified next Friday, so we'll see how that one works out.
I wonder if Kenny Schrader's driven a dirt car style modified.
Would have to have.
Yes.
You would think, where was
Can-Am.
it? Is that right?
Yeah, I remember, and they had it all painted up like the Folgers 25.
Okay.
Yeah. Pretty cool.
Well, his will be painted like a 0 car next year. Next
There
week.
you go.
Slow pace, here we go. 1 to go. Kyle, I think, is going to drop the green and the white together. Just green, but it don't matter. We know there's only one lap to go. Adam, take us home.
Ryan Beagle drove it deep on that last lap into turn number 3. Looks to the inside in 1 and 2. Bailey pulls him down the back straightaway as he got one more kamikaze drive to the inside. Deep into turn number 3. They're side by side through 3 and 4, and Beagle lifted. He did the gentlemanly thing and he lifted. Fawcett going to hang on to third, I believe, although it looks like Mike Lazinga.
Yeah, that wasn't going to work out for Ryan Beagle. He thought about it, but when he realized that it was pushing, he just lifted, and we'll have to settle for second.
They're hooking each other heading down to Quick Victory Lane. Three's a party, four's a crowd. Fawcett being told, nope, you were fourth by a few hundredths of a second. Ryan Beagle second. What a drive by Mike Lazinga. Spirited effort.
Dave Bailey, a place he knows oh so well, but for the first time, it's now Quick Victory Lane, and he will get his first visit down here to the concrete pad. In front, we'll take his gear off and get out. We'll also have a quick word with Mike Lazinga and Ryan Beagle. 360 sprint cars getting wound up in the pits, ready to come out for their feature event and our final race of the evening. Well, folks, he'll work on getting the window net down. He's got the bucket off. How about it for the Gibbs Action Sports Queenston Chevrolet machine and driver Dave Bailey? Dave will go over and shake hands with Ryan Beagle. Great race and great show of sportsmanship there between two of the best, as we've said. Dave, picking up right where you left off. I don't know if you won the last race in 2019, but it couldn't have been too far behind. Welcome back to Quick Victory Lane.
Thanks, and Logan Schwedek won the last one.
So you're a stats guy too, are you? You know it.
I know it wasn't me.
Fair enough. What a great drive, though, Dave. Great start to your 2022 season. You're multi-time champ. Looking for that, I think it's a 5th ring now, right?
We got 5. Well, we got 4 rings, 5 championships. But, it was an awesome race. Great running with Beagle. It was just awesome. He kind of taught me a little bit about the top there because I kind of thought we had to be on the bottom, but he showed me the top was fast, so we went up there and ran up there, and he got shot us in the last lap, but the bottom was just not quick enough.
Great job, Dave. Excellent start to your season. Congrats.
Thank you.
Dave Bailey gets done. We'll get over here and talk to Ryan Beagle. Fang and Claw are going to get in there for a shot with him as well. Well, Big Dog, that was a heck of a run. You had multiple shots at him. But in the end, as Adam said, you did the gentleman thing and not running in when your car pushed on that last turn. But this has got to give you some a bit of momentum going into the next few weeks.
Yeah, it does for sure. I kind of got down in 3 there, and I think I got in a little bit of a slop and lost the front end. And I figured I better back out of it instead of running in the side of Dave. I wouldn't want to win a race like that. So, no, it was a good run. Good way to start the season off here at Ohsweken.
Heck yeah, Ryan Beagle gets it done in 2nd place. And we'll get over here and talk to Mike Lazinga next. We won't disturb the photographers. Mike, great run for you. I mean, you've been really picking up your program. You got to be happy with the way this 305's been running lately, and, here you are.
Yeah, considering I blew it up Tuesday night, Jamie and Dale at DSE helped me out this week, get it back together. Couldn't do it without Melissa Miller's help, my dad, everybody around here. Ohsweken Price Save, Creighton's Auto Service.
You're getting closer, Mike. He's getting there, ladies and gentlemen. How about it for Mike Lazinga? He'll finish 3rd. Ryan Beagle will be 2nd, and our feature winner tonight in the middle of Port Mechanical Thunderstocks, Dave Bailey, back to Victory Lane. The 360 sprints are getting ready to go. We have one feature event remaining here tonight as we celebrate Friday Night Thunder Night, and we'll be right back here live on G-Force TV.
On the scene since 1949, Fast Eddie was born with a lead foot and a burning need for speed. His passion for speed and sport has been captured in this authentic collection of vintage themed gear. Created for gearheads, riders, and racers, Fast Eddie truly encompasses the great Canadian racing culture we have from coast to coast. Drive hard, get dirty, and look good doing it. Fast Eddie Speedwear. Get geared up.
Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to our weekly race chat.
Adam Ross and Clinton Jeffrey are live and interactive every Tuesday night. Rivals Race Chat is your home for race discussion, debate, news, interviews, and more. They'll even take your questions and comments live on the air and talk to some of the newsmakers each week. Tune in every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. on GeForce TV.
Welcome back live to Ohsweken Speedway live here on GeForce TV. How about a look at this new pace truck, Rick from Strickland's. Rick, tell us what this machine is and where all these fine fans can get over to Strickland's and buy one themselves.
Yeah, it's a 22 Trail Boss. I wanted to do a 23, but we don't have any inventory on 23 yet. So I did up a Trail Boss, put some rims on it. I got an exhaust system we haven't done yet. But it's a nice truck, but yeah, certainly come on by. And awesome to be back at the track and see the fans, and everybody's having a good time, so thank you very much.
Right on. Thanks, Strickland's, for all they do, sponsoring the crate sprints and bringing us these gorgeous pace trucks every year. They do a fantastic job. And you can own this pace truck. Just call Rick and his staff at Strickland's GMC Brantford down on Linden Road, and they'll get you everything you need to know. Well, guys, it's time for the big guys to come out and roll around here. They've waited just as long as everybody else. Are you ready for some 360 sprint car action? Here they come.
All right, starting lineup for the first feature of 2022 in the Cool Kids. Ice and Water, Corpac, merchandising sprint car. Starting from the pole from Dunnville in car number 91, that'll be Ryan Turner. To his outside from Mississauga in the 17X, the highlight man, Mac DeMann. Going from third from Scotland in the 47X, it's D-Dubs, Dylan Westbrook. And to his outside from Grimsby in car number 90, going from fourth, it'll be Travis Cunningham. Starting in fifth from Tilsonburg in car number 13, Corey Turner. And his outside, newly inducted into the Canadian Motorsport Hall of Fame, the Ohsweken Flyer, car number 0, Glenn Stiers. Starting in seventh out of Mount Bridges in car number 45, one of the rookie drivers in the field. This will be Nick Sheridan, defending crate sprint car champion here. And starting in eighth out of Fenwick, the 14H, the Red Rocket, will be Jim Hoopinen. Starting in ninth from Dorchester aboard car number 1, that'll be Holly Porter. And going from 10th out of Warrnambool, Victoria, Australia. Driving car number 20, that is Braden Cooley. Going off 11th from Scotland. In the 87X, that'll be Sean Evans. And to his outside, going off 12th from Brantford in car number 10, Downtown, Mitch Brown. Starting in 13th out of Ohsweken, car number 68, Aaron Turkey. And to his outside from Brampton. In the 70mm, it's Dave McKnight Jr. Starting 15th with a win already this year from Brantford. In the Little Bend 110, it's Jake Brown. And going from 16th out of Beamsville in the 88H, it's Josh Hansen. Starting 17th out of Binbrook in car number 9, it's Liam Martin. And starting at 18th out of Beachville in car number 5, DJ Christie. Starting at 19th out of Caister Center in car number 11, Jamie Turner. And his outside starting 20th out of Port Colborne in the 5D, Jacob Dykstra. Starting 21st from Niagara Falls in car 70, it's Bailey Hurd. And from Lewiston, New York in car number 81, going 22nd, is Derek Jonathan. Going off 23rd from St. Catharines in the 46 machine, Kevin Pauls. And starting in the 24th and final spot from Ohsweken, car number 15, will be Dan Hodge Nanakoke. The 24 cars, 20 laps. The distance in the first A-main since 2019. And you got to think the defending champion from 2019, Dylan Westbrook's got a pretty good shot at getting the win tonight, starting in third. But right now there are so many good drivers in this division, Adam. I'm not willing to bet on any of them.
No, absolutely not. That's the fun part. There's a lot of quality. I miss Scott Kruder. I wish he was here racing with us. The Canadian Sprint Car Nationals champ from 2019. But we've got such talent out here and so many storylines. Travis Cunningham, that is as plain a looking sprint car as you can put on the racetrack. And he's out there contending with some heavy hitters. The Kingpin Farms 91 is Ryan Turner. The Acklands Insurance 17X of Mac DeMann. Townline Variety 47 of Dylan Westbrook. The Burger Barn Petro Plus 13 of Corey Turner. The Ohsweken Speedway Henry M0 of Glenn Stiers. And then you've got Travis Cunningham sponsored. Travis Cunningham.
Bowen Automotive on that car and Tammy 10 Media.
Yeah, I shouldn't say he's without supporters, but he's definitely a unique story out here.
Like you said, knows how to build an engine, and I think he got that from his dad.
I would think so. And a passion for the sport like nobody else. Or like a lot of the people that race here at Ohsweken, but he just loves motorsports.
Oh, wow, we had a close call there. Cleaning the engines out there, Dylan Westbrook and Travis Cunningham had a close call down there in number 3, but the white flag is out, and we'll go green flag racing next time by 2x2, 12 rows of beautifully prepared sprint cars ready to come to life. It's Ryan Turner, McDeman on the front row, Kyle McKenzie with double green flags in hand. Ladies and gentlemen, you came looking for a show. Well, here you go. Let's end 993 days of anticipation as we bring to you our feature presentation.
Quick, fire it up. Ryan Turner hanging on to that top spot in the 91. I'll tell you what, he has got that car hooked up because, Greg, there are a lot of race cars struggling out there to get around these corners. Dylan Westbrook, Corey Turner runs second and third, but we've got cars kicking out sideways on the racetrack. It's a tough one for these drivers tonight.
Ryan Turner picked up a win a couple of weeks ago at Merrittville Speedway. Here he is out in front over D-Dubs, Dylan Westbrook. Corey Turner right now rides in the third spot. McDeman and Glenn Stiers right now going for the fourth position. Stiers down to the inside of him.
Watch Dylan Westbrook come off the corner every lap coming off. He has had his hands full of steering wheel. That was about as smooth as he's been, but still, we got trouble in turn number 2. Dan Nanicoke goes around in the 15 machine.
And right in front of leader Ryan Turner, quick moves there in the Kingpin Farms number 91 to get things woed up and out of the way of Hodge, Dan Nanicoke.
I've missed that smell. Not you, Greg.
Oh. I was going to say why, thank you.
These methanol burning monsters.
So Dan Nanicoke, not the start he's been hoping for here tonight at Ohsweken Speedway. Been doing a lot of traveling in the U.S.
Looks as though Jake Brown got off to a pretty good start in that 110. I think he started deep in the field here as I'm trying to find my
15th.
starting lineup.
15th to 10th in the first 5 laps.
I watched Liam Martin get absolutely dead cross sideways out of turn number 4. Some of these young Lions, Nick Sheridan as well, trying to put the power down, just not able to get any bite. Glenn Stiers, it's like a new beginning for the driver of the Zero. He hasn't looked this good, and I mean in any of the stuff that he's raced. He's looked good in the modified, he's looked good in the Pinty Series car, and he's looked right at home in the sprint car this season, and I'm thrilled for him.
It was about halfway through last season in the sprint car division. He had a really solid run at Merrittville, and it's like it just changed. It was a flip of the switch, and the Glenn Stiers we're used to was back.
And it's been a long road to recovery. I mean, it's healing from some head injuries that he's suffered over the years.
Running right now in the 5th spot behind McDeman, Corey Turner, Dylan Westbrook, and leader Ryan Turner. Clint?
I was just going to mention, I was talking to Glenn this week about all the laps he's been putting in, and he just said it's racing therapy. The more laps I put in, the better I feel. The vertigo's going away, and he's like, I'm feeling good now. And you called it, Adam. I think we all see tires of the old is back.
Runs in the 5th spot right now. It's Ryan Turner out in front. He got off to a great start. Let's see if he can do it again.
Single file past the restart cone. Interesting to watch. All the drivers take different lines as they come off of corner number 4. And here comes Dylan Westbrook. Sails it into number 4. Here comes Turner back down to the inside. They're wheel to wheel going into 1.
Ryan Turner on the inside. Westbrook up high. Turner edges out in front with a beautiful move to take the lead back from Dylan Westbrook. He's going to sail it in there again.
And that time he makes it work. Ryan Turner couldn't get up in front of the 47X. So Dylan Westbrook, your leader, over Ryan Turner, Corey Turner, Glenn Stiers in 4th, and now Dan Anacoke around in corner number 3 in front of the leaders. Keeps the foot in the throttle. We stay green.
He's got plenty of forward bite. Doing a wheelie down the front straightaway was Anacoke in that 15. Westbrook swings to the outside.
Now the Turner boys will try to work around Dan Anacoke, the only lap car right now on the field. As leader, Dylan Westbrook begins to catch the tail end of the field. Kevin Pauls will be first in line.
Yeah, it's going to be a busy few laps for Dylan Westbrook as we are halfway through. 10 laps down, 10 laps to go in this one.
They work it down into corner number 1. Leader is there on the back end of the 70mm of Dave McKnight and Kevin Pauls. Good battle going on right now between Travis Cunningham, McDeman, and Jim Hoopinen. 3-car fight off the second corner, and Hoopinen shoots through the middle.
Hoopinen with the spot. McDeman swings it to the outside with a hammer down sideways off of turn 4.
Oh, Dylan Westbrook just did a bit of a wheelie off of corner number 2. He's still fighting that car as he works as the leader through lap traffic.
Back to the battle between Hoopin and DeMann and Travis Cunningham clips the inside wall. And then Holly Porter goes for a tumble on the front straightaway after contact with Cunningham. Cunningham clipped the inside wall in turn number 4. Holly Porter almost avoided him. They made contact and she almost gathered it in, and then she didn't. Shame for Holly Porter. She was having a good drive. She was well in the top 10, doing a nice job tonight.
She's running in 8th, just ahead of Nick Sheridan. She'll climb out the top of the car there. Good to see her and be able to climb out of the car. Clinton Jeffrey getting on the scene there. We'll get some shots in just a moment of some of the damage on the one machine.
Well, Holly Porter smiling down here. That's a great sign. We'll let her catch her breath and get a talk to the safety workers and make sure she's all right. And this number 1 car doesn't look all that bad for the tumble it took, guys. You would think it'd be a lot worse. Obviously, the wings are junk on it. It's got some oil leaking out of it, but you'd suspect it to be a lot worse.
You know what, Clint? She had scrubbed off quite a bit of speed in her effort to try to save the car. So thankfully it wasn't a top speed tumble, but let's have a word.
Holly, you all right?
Yeah, I'm all right. Scrubbed off quite a bit of speed before we got the wall. I don't know what Travis just got the left rear or right rear, I guess, but he was probably trying to get the infield. I seen him hit the inside wall there and thought we could get by him before he ducked to the infield, but not the case.
You're all right, though?
Yeah, I'm all right. Just sucks that our car is in this condition after race 1.
Well, number 1 didn't have a great race 1, but you got a great crew back there. They'll get you ready to rock.
Yeah, I'd just like to shout out to Malcolm Mills, Millwrighting, and Glenn Stiers for the opportunity here.
Good job. How about for Holly Porter, the First Lady of Sprint Cars here at Ohsweken? Not the way she needed her season to get started. We'll jump in and go see Travis Cunningham.
Yeah, I don't know if we had a camera down there that caught Cunningham clipping that inside wall, but he bounced straight up, scrubbed off some speed, and then I think realized things were terminal. Tried to get it to the infield, and this is a game of fractions of an inch. Clinton Jeffrey arriving on the scene with Travis Cunningham in the 90.
Travis, your car looked awfully fast, man. It doesn't look so great right now. What happened?
I just clipped the wall, had no steering. I feel bad for Holly. I think that's who that was. I clipped, just had no steering after I clipped the wall and made a mistake.
Yeah, she mentioned that she figured you're trying to get to the infield and didn't obviously mean to get her. She figured she could get by, but didn't make it.
Yeah, that's pretty much how it felt. I had no steering, so like I wasn't trying to get to the infield. It was just heading that way.
Tough start to the season for Travis Cunningham, but he'll take the 90 car back and get ready to go again next week.
You know, it's one of those double-edged swords. If you're Travis Cunningham, you're ticked off because you had a top 5 run going that got ruined. But if you're Travis Cunningham, you're thinking, I was running in the top 5. You know, I'm going to put this thing together and feel good about next week. So we talked about it earlier. It's a cruel sport. It's a tough sport. But I would be willing to bet my paycheck that we're going to see the 1 in 2 weeks here at Ohsweken, and we're going to see the 90 in 2 weeks at Ohsweken.
Darren says he'll take that bet.
Son of a gun.
He was going to take the bet if you'd said next week.
I crossed my mind. Like,
Wait a minute.
And again, kudos to our safety crew. There are none better in the sport. Hey, and how about Josh Richards? Did you see what happened to him at Eldora?
Yes.
There is always some racers who complain at the Sprint Car Nationals because Ohsweken Speedway has a rule that you must run a rock screen. So you must run a little cage at the front of your car that is designed to scatter the clumps of mud if they do come up in the car. Josh Richards suffered pretty serious injuries at Eldora, facial injuries, when a clump of mud came up into the car and got him right square in the face. And you can see the screen on Braden Cooley's car. They're about 2 inches, 2-inch square. It is a clearer line of sight if you have no screen, but it's not a clear line of sight if you've got a clump of mud that comes right into your helmet and does some serious damage.
This is a battle we fight with all the incoming teams from the States during Nationals weekend. We have mandated a 2x2 rock screen here for the last 5 or so years, and they come in with like 4 bars just straight up and down and at them, and they don't like it, but I mean, we've seen enough things come into the cockpits here. I mean, I think the first time one of the Patriots came, or ESS, Gary Troutman, I don't know if you remember that, big clump of mud too, split his visor, split his nose open, and we've changed the rules around here since then.
It's not even a freak accident, Clint. It's not that uncommon.
Yeah.
And thankfully, you rarely see people get seriously injured because there are steps that you take. But yeah, it's.
And even with the screens, we've seen some of those screens take quite a beating, and drivers still get hit. Now, obviously, not as hard as they could have been.
Wasn't it Mikey's car that something came into the screen and caved it right in? Clinton, wasn't it your brother?
Yeah, I think it was.
Yeah, he had a big clump of mud. It actually came a bit lower and knocked the carbon fiber dash off and bent his wheel up. So yeah, the mud, you think it's just dirt, but when it's big and heavy, it's dangerous.
So we're 12 laps into this 20-lap feature event in the Core Pack merchandising. Cool Kids Ice and Water, 360 sprint cars. What a fantastic night of racing. I know we're not done, Greg. I thought we were going to be here well into the morning.
You know, guys, I have to jump in. It's Wesley Shaw's birthday yesterday, and we have gone the whole night and not wished Wesley Shaw happy birthday. Wes is a big supporter of everything we do G-Force, one of our moderators, and a huge fan here tonight. So, Wesley, glad you're having your birthday one day later here at the Big O.
Wesley is a hardcore fan. Clinton said it right. He's there and supports everything we do, but he supports all racing here in this province, and we appreciate you. Hope you're having a good birthday.
Mac DeMann getting up into position. Nick Sheridan working his way through. What a debacle this used to be before one-way radios. You know, trying to get things sorted out. It's just a well-orchestrated machine now.
Remember chalkboards?
Yep. Yeah, there were a lot of different ways to do it. The flagman down on the racetrack,
yep,
pointing sticks,
yep,
or writing the chalkboard or the whiteboard. Just a few more cars to get sorted out at the back end of the field. We'll be ready to set these cars loose. Dylan Westbrook from Scotland, Ontario in the 47X. Ryan Turner from Dunnville. Corey Turner from Tilsonburg. Glenn Stiers from Turn 2.
Which Turn 2 now? There's two abodes.
Aaron Turkey, another hometown racer out of Ohsweken. One to go.
D-Dubs will bring that Sovereign Fusion Original Traders Energy 47X back to the green flag, single file past the cone. Ryan Turner back there in the Kingpin Farm, number 91. Has he got anything left? The defending champion of this division, green flag back in the air.
Turner to the inside of Dylan Westbrook. They'll drag race down the back straightaway. Turner with the advantage.
Down to the inside he goes, digging hard in deep, but can't shut the door. Dylan Westbrook shoots by him off the fourth corner.
Glenn Stiers up into the third spot, gets around Corey Turner. Ryan Turner's not done, takes another swing at Westbrook in turn 1.
Corey Turner back to third for the moment. Stiers shoots back by him. A little give and take here, back and forth. Stiers solidly in third now.
Westbrook out in front by 5 car lengths over Ryan Turner as they come off of turn number 2. Stiers up on the outside. Corey Turner working the bottom of these turns. Turner going to take a big run at the 0.
5 laps left to go for Dylan Westbrook as we've got one slow. That's Dave McKnight Jr. headed into the pit area. So leaders go by him, and Dylan Westbrook's going to be to the lap car of Dan Nanakoke here in just a second.
Westbrook stretching out his lead. Turner with a big slide job on Stiers.
Well, Ryan Turner's keeping Dylan Westbrook right there in his sights, and there's some more lap traffic still to come, so it's not over yet. 3 laps left to go this time by.
Westbrook with 1 lap car between himself and Ryan Turner. Turner will dispense of Dan Nanakoke down in turn number 1, but he's got a long way to go to close in on Dylan Westbrook.
2 laps left to go. Some of these cars in front of Dylan are running in the line that he's been running. We'll see how he can carve through this as Ryan Turner trying to close the gap. White flag this time by.
Corey Turner closing in for one last run at Glenn Stiers as they work down the back straightaway. White flag is in the air for Dylan Westbrook. Greg.
Westbrook trying to get by Derek Jonathan. Now will have to cut down low. He's got a good advantage right now over Ryan Turner. Close call in the backstretch with Derek Jonathan as they come off of corner 3 and off of 4. D-Dubs gets it done again. Dylan Westbrook wins. Ryan Turner second. Glenn Stiers back on the podium. Corey Turner will be 4th, and 5th will be Aaron Turkey. Across the line in 6th will be Jim Hoopinen, 7th Josh Hansen, 8th Mac Demand, 9th Braden Cooley, and 10th will be Liam Martin.
I'll tell you, Jacob Dykstra made a huge move at the end there to sweep around Jake Brown and take home the 11th spot by less than 3/100ths of a second. What a race, what a show. Clinton Jeffrey going to meet our top 3 in quick victory lane.
Ryan Turner will pull it into quick victory lane with Dylan Westbrook, and Glenn Stiers will make his way in as well. Crossing the line in 3rd here tonight, and for Glenn Stiers, I'm not sure. This might be the first time for him on the concrete pad down in front, because back when he was winning races, it was all front stretch victory lane. This is going to be a big thing for Glenn to finish in the top 3 here tonight, and that resurgence like we talked about earlier on. Dylan Westbrook, I didn't think it'd be that easy. He was fighting the car earlier on in this feature event.
You know what? That was a great race. It was right down to the end. One mistake would have cost Dylan Westbrook. He did a great job. Keep in mind, Dylan Westbrook has been racing steadily since February. He's already one of the best there is, but give him lots of seat time. Clinton Jeffrey, he's climbing out of the car for you.
Well, another one of our crate graduates starting to make his waves out on the national scene. He's our defending champ from 2019, made a rare appearance. How about it for D-Dubs, Dylan Westbrook? You know you belong to us, right, D-Dub? No matter where you go, you're always going to be an Ohsweken boy. Cut your teeth here. You're doing us real proud out there, especially for the Hills team. How cool is it to come back home and win one tonight?
It's really cool. To be gone for so long and then to come out here and kind of pick up where we left off, it's really cool. This is really the only chance we get to come here before the Nationals, so figure we come out, do some testing and tuning, and try to get faster for that.
How was the track, Dylan? It seemed like, we've seen a lot worse opening night speedways here. I think it was really good tonight.
Yeah, it was really good. You kind of had both two conditions, like 1 and 2, it was real slick down there, and 3 and 4, you could hammer down right around the top. It was really cool.
Right on. Congratulations, Dylan Westbrook gets it done.
Yeah, just really got to thank Miles down in Panama for helping out. I know he's watching tonight, and I kind of wish Grandpa could be here. He's in the hospital right now, but I'm sure he wish he could be here.
Good job, Dylan Westbrook gets it done. Ryan Turner, come on in here. Ryan, you had some spirited battles there. Just how cool is it to be back at Ohsweken?
It's different. It's not a bull ring, that's for sure. I had to. You can tell in my heat race I struggle a little bit. We're still getting back used to this place, but it's just nice to go full throttle around the Big O.
Yeah, track conditions looked, like Dylan said, a little bit slick down here. Big curb in 3. A bit of everything Ohsweken can throw at you tonight.
Yeah, you definitely had to, set your car up for the slick, but then be able to run the cushion in 3 and 4 and not be able to dump it there. I thought we had something for Dylan there. He just got away on me a bit there on that last restart. I should have threw it a little harder there in 3 and 4 to get in front of him.
Right on, Ryan Turner for second. We'll get over here and talk to our third-place competitor, Glenn Stiers. Glenn, come on out here. How cool is it to have everybody back and then end up on the podium? Adam and the boys were talking about, it seems like you got your mojo back.
You know what? I had such a good day. Slept really good last night. Normally, the day before a race, I can't sleep. Probably what you went through, all of the struggles and making sure everything was working. And I had to laugh at you, Clint. I just said, just suck it up, buddy.
It's not about me, though. You're back on top. Let's talk about your head. How you feeling?
You know what? 100%. I was just telling the guys before that I hit the wall, hit on, and Merrittville, hit pretty hard, and nothing happened. I fell bowling, nothing happened. I said, I'm back, I'm good.
All right, Glenn. Well, how about we had a full house here tonight? Thanks, everybody, for coming out.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for everybody taking the time for Friday night, coming out here and loving us. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks. On behalf of all our staff and management, we appreciate everything you guys did for us, to the Ohsweken staff who got us here, and everybody who helped make it happen. We're back at the Big O near 1,000 days later. But we got it done, guys. Thanks so much to everybody. We'll send it up to you to take us home. And don't forget, tomorrow we're live from Flamborough for the APC series.
A real investigative journalist would have asked how he fell bowling. I think there was more.
Was that not the point that caught your attention? I mean, I could do it too, but
he knows how to have a good time.
So that will wrap things up. Don't forget, next week, no 360s, no crate sprints. We've got the UMP Canadian Modifieds along with NASCAR legend Ken Schrader. The 358 Modifieds will be here as well, along with the Thunderstocks and the Mini Stock. 7:30 start time here at the Big O. OhswekenSpeedway.com for all the information and to check in on our schedule and get your advance reserve tickets for our major events here in 2022. So that will wrap things up. Adam, it was great to be back. It kind of now feels like we were never gone. It was good to get back in the saddle.
Yeah, shook the rust off pretty quick as far as this feeling right at home. Let's send some well wishes to Cam McKinnon. Hopefully he's not hurting too bad. That was a wicked one down there in turn number 4. But what a great night.
Great night of racing. Don't forget, as Clinton already mentioned, tomorrow night live on GeForce TV. The APC series is live at Flamborough Speedway, along with the Quick Superstock Series Can-Am midgets on the card. Make your way there if you're able to. If not, it's live on GeForce TV. Clinton, Adam, and Jamie Maudsley will bring you all the action. So make sure you tune in at 5:30 tomorrow, GeForceTV.net. So that will wrap things up. On behalf of all of our staff, officials, the crew, the management here, and on behalf of Clinton Jeffrey and Adam Ross, I'm Greg Kelman saying so long. We'll see you right back here at the Big O next Friday night. Copyrighted broadcast may not be reproduced, retransmitted, or used in any form without the authorized written consent of GeForce TV. GeForce TV would like to thank you for your support and for watching today's broadcast.